And we are live. Ultra Podcast Z, episode 88, double eights.
Oh, eight's one of my favorite numbers.
Yeah, it's funny because my birthday is actually like 88. Like if I was born a couple years later, I'd been 88. But unfortunately, I'm like old. I'm older than 88, unfortunately. But
wow, I guess I don't like 8 anymore.
damn, like that.
I'm just kidding.
But yeah, Ultra Podcast Z, episode 88. We have a nice show for you tonight. As always, I'm Manuel, leader of AJ Connections, and Konaru will be joining us later on, so there will be, as always, Konaru a bit later on, but she has to wait. I excuse a bit of a mustache here. I didn't think I'd be showing my face, and I forgot to shave for the podcast like I usually do. Rip.
That's why I put on a long sleeve shirt, because I need to shave my armpits.
I know. I was thinking about, like, how do I drink? And I'm like, I actually seriously, by the way, we're drinking, but I seriously considered getting a straw and cutting a hole in this or something. But then, like, I'm like, I can't cut a hole in this. It's like, I'd rather just show the mustache. So here we are. But joining us special tonight is Ren.
It me.
It you. It Ren. It ran o'clock. Oh, what just popped up? No, I don't want Google to update right now. Why does it pick now? So yeah, what do we have tonight? Chat's open, by the way. I don't know if anyone's really... Well, we have a few people watching already, actually. So chat is open. Go ahead and talk. I think, unfortunately, there is like a minute delay, which I meant to lessen.
Always.
I meant to lessen it because I actually put a delay intending, just in case the internet like craps out, there's like a buffer. But I meant to lessen it this time because it's always too long. But I forgot. Oops. So wait especially long until we notice you talk to us. And if you're watching on YouTube, like, comment, subscribe, smash that like button. Remember, if at any point of the podcast we made you laugh, you owe us a like.
Yeah.
Yep.
What he said.
And
it's the law.
It is. And there you go. So do that. Let us know what you think, and let's just jump into this. Jump right into this. Who says that? It's like somebody's YouTuber thing. So we have some intros, some UPZ. We actually don't have UPZs. We have host news. We have a little bit of our weekly story time, and we get everyone nice and settled in. We didn't actually discuss how we were going to discuss one of our first topics about the certain big news of the world of the past few weeks. A certain sick illness that shares part of its name with a beer that I actually don't like at all. That beer's disgusting. But
which one?
The sea beer, the Mexican one.
Oh. I don't like beer in general.
Well, I don't mind beer. I just can't stand that beer. Yeah, it's a light beer too. You think I would like it because I actually can't stand many dark beers, but no, I can't stand that one. We're talking about that. We're talking about Curry House closing. We're gonna have a lot of randomness. Brand's gonna talk about bones and talk about other bones.
Bones. And then I should have gathered my bones.
I know. I just really
have some of them.
Our prep's so unprepped. It's fine. We'll figure this out. And then we have some we have some Reddit rabbit hole nonsense.
I mean, we do have a rabbit too. It's me.
Yeah, I will say we have the rabbit on the show right now. But yeah, let's just jump into our little host nonsense. What's new with Ren?
I got a new job.
Oh, you got a new job.
I got a new job.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Money is always a good thing.
Yes, it is. And it works really well with my schedule because I've actually started picking up a lot more modeling work, freelance, which is also exciting because I've been trying to get my foot in the door for modeling for years. So excited to have some shoots coming up with some of my friends and some new photographers. And then I've also been working with all of Peachy Parade to work on some choreography for our original song.
Oh yeah, it's funny because I don't know if you know about like I don't think you and I have ever talked about that, but I'm actually sort of helping out with some of the Peachy Parade stuff in the background as well. And it's funny because we didn't talk about that at all, and you think we would have brought that up when we were doing a little pre-show thing, but no, we didn't. We didn't mention that at all. And I actually have updates that I probably could have told you first, but I'm like, whatever. That's planning for you right there, guys. That's planning.
Yeah, but hey, we should honestly probably have it out by next month at the latest.
Yep. I am gonna play devil's advocate here and be that asshole who was gonna mention that a certain unnamed website did interview Peachy Parade last year.
Last
month.
We ran into a lot of complications, okay? A lot of stuff behind the scenes happened, so it's been delayed. We got new people, so...
Oh, shit. Okay, usually I have a suitcase right here next to my table that I could put things on, so I put a cup that had a bit of extra rum in it, but I forgot I had moved the suitcase before we started. So the cup just fell and the rum spilled. I mean, it wasn't much, but there's no point cleaning it up right now. I'm just gonna have to deal with that when we're all done. But that was hilarious. Like, you guys can't see anything because it's so dark in here. But I literally, if you saw me put that cup down, it landed on nothing. It just went straight to the floor. And I
That's...
And we're just starting, guys. We're just starting. Yeah, I guess a new thing for me, we actually took last week off. I apologize for that. We had a really crazy show lined up for last week. I don't want to say what it is because I realize now is probably not a good idea with what we were going to discuss and like who was going to be on it and so on. So everyone will always wonder what that never was. But
will they?
Yeah, I mean, probably not. But but beyond that, a lot of other nonsense. I got a lot of new office studio equipment, similar to Ren, trying to take more modeling gigs and everything like that. I'm trying to do a lot more work from homey type things. I actually want to do a bunch of YouTube videos. We have a series on YouTube called what's it called? Idle Timeline. It's called Idle Timeline. It's a series I sort of co-created with Martha from Overseas Idol Collection. And by co-created, I will admit, don't at me on this. It was like 80-20%, or more like 80-25. I mean 75-25. I think I'm a little more than 20. So me being the lesser part. But I want to continue it. And Manuel mustache party fell. I didn't even realize Manuel mustache furry ride. Yeah, like
oh goodness.
I didn't even notice that we're yeah, I got a mustache and I'm also a furry. I actually forgot we put the rainforest thing down there still. Well, I left it there. But
oh Lord.
But no, oh, look at mood lighting. But yeah.
Making my room less visible.
But yeah, I'm trying to do more. Trying to finish that video series. I actually have a couple scripts sort of written, for some upcoming Idol videos. And they're really popular. They're like evergreen content. Like I keep thinking that no one's watching them, but then they'll get comments, like, and crazy comments, like extensive, like, oh, just to let you know, like friendly ones, but they're like, oh, you missed a couple facts, here's all this, also, you guys should do a video on this. And I'm like, so this is what it's like being a YouTuber that's like, mildly popular, because I've never had anyone be like, you should do a video on XXX. But we get that all the time in the Idol history one, so if you're watching, if you actually sub to us because of that, and you're for some reason on this podcast, I listen and I saw it. It takes time, but yeah. Anyway, so Ren, a certain post of yours went viral.
Unfortunately,
that was insane.
Yeah, I literally. I was scrolling through Twitter and saw an art post. I can't even remember the specific post anymore, but I was looking in the comments, and it was like a sexier drawing of a petite adult woman, and people were like, "Oh, pedo, I'm gonna go to jail for liking this," blah blah blah, and I'm like, Can y'all not?
Really?
So I tweeted my feelings about it, thinking it would be seen by maybe my friends. And a couple hours later, it got retweeted by a few like bigger name cosplayers, and I'm like, uh-oh. Don't do that. Don't retweet that. It could not be stopped. I had to lock my account when I was sleeping at night, because otherwise I would get string after string of harassment.
That's insane.
So yeah, that was fun.
It was funny because I was actually gonna ask you about like I was telling Rain before we started that I came across that tweet. For the record, I don't really go on Twitter that much. I'm mainly on the A2J Twitter, but I do have personal Twitter. But I don't think I was even trolling Twitter. I was just going on there to like post something or to look like we're active by retweeting a few things. So I went on there, but I was locked into my personal one, and I saw a friend of mine like. They are a convention friend, admittedly, but they're a very local convention friend. They're someone I know for a fact does not know Ren. And I'm like, why did they share this? I'm like, that's so odd. And I look at the thing, and it has like 1,000 likes and like hundreds of retweets. I don't know how many it has by this point, but I was like, what the hell? And then I go to your profile, and then you're like, oh, oops. Like, you had like follow-up tweets where you're like, I wish, first I love that you had the first follow-up tweet that was like, oops, I made a typo. But then it got a lot more serious than that. It got a lot more serious than a typo.
Yeah, hang on. Let's see where it is now. Let's see what the final status of it is. Because after I locked, it finally calmed down, and people kind of left me alone. It was funny because I did make a follow tweet like I'm not a little, please don't call me one, because people were like calling me like a little and comparing me to DDLG and stuff, and I'm like,
oh god,
that is incorrect. But I had people who thought I meant like people were calling me little, like physically little, and they're like, oh, don't let their words get to you. And I'm like,
do you know? You have to explain to them what little is. That awkward moment, you have to explain it to someone.
Yeah. Okay. So the final 8,309 likes.
8,000? Yeah, okay. It really cruises when I saw it. I think the time I saw it, it was in the 1,000-ish range. It was way over that. But I think I did see it very early on.
Yeah,
I was like,
and then it got 1,309 retweets and 200 replies.
I'm sure half of those were nice and toxic. Twitter is a
mess.
Yeah. Twitter is an absolute mess when it comes to I both love and hate Twitter. I love that it's very unpoliced in terms of what you can post, and I don't mean like hate comments. Don't misconstrue what I'm saying here. But like you can post a lot of like more risque content, a lot more like out there tweets. I don't mean just like porn. I mean like just weirder stuff. But by that same flip, it's also such a crazy toxic place to be half the time. Oh man. And there's so many bots on Twitter, but that's a whole other story for another day. But I don't know. I'm sure that was fun. Was it fun being viral for a moment there? No. Not Louise.
No. Although it was nice because like now I surprisingly, for the amount of interaction, I got more followers than I had expected. I guess a lot of people were agreeing with me, but didn't want specifically to like share it, because I got a lot of followers during it, and a lot of people were being really nice, and so I get a lot of likes on my photos now, which is cool. That's
good.
Yeah, I gained like almost because I had 1,000. I gained almost 1,000 followers from it.
Ooh. Whoa, that's just no. I don't know why. When you said that, I was like, oh, "That's a lot." It's like, I guess because of the little buzz now. But when it really sunk in there, I was like, "Wait, 1,000? That's a pretty sizable amount." Porn.
Yeah, because I had around 1,600 something, 700 something followers on Twitter, and now I have 2,700.
That's insane. Like I said, the more I thought about that, I'm like, wait a minute. I have like 200 and some. Okay, I don't use it. It's actually a miracle. I have 200 and whatever. on my personal one, and I think even the A to J one only has like about 500. And mind you, we get some when we interviewed Mio Yamazaki, that Manhera like rock group. We interviewed them, and that post went crazy. That we've never had a post that popular. It got about 1,000 likes and like 100 retweets. And
Wow.
I think we gained like 5 followers from it. Our post, like even our crazy post, never seemed to translate to like likes on our Twitter page.
Honestly, yeah, that it was really shocking for me because I don't use Twitter. Like, I don't post a lot of my own content on Twitter. I mainly use it for retweeting and following other art accounts. And the only reason I even made it to 1,000 followers in the first place is because at the end of last year, Jessica Negri shared a photo of me.
Oh, I remember that. I remember seeing that too. I don't think it was your photo of well, you can go to tell the story.
Score Bunny. It was my Score Bunny cosplay.
I just couldn't remember. I couldn't remember the name of that freaking Pokemon. Even though like Score Bunny was my starter for Sword and Shield, or Sword because I have Sword. But I remember that post. I remember seeing it from her, not through you. And because it was not that long after you were on our podcast, like the second time or something, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah. Oh wow.
Yeah, I literally, I don't know how I gain followers on Twitter because everything else I post is just garbage.
I mean, it's garbage. If you want to be fan, I forgot where I was talking about garbage. Oh, yeah, like the garbage. That's the way it is when you're being fancy, a fancy raccoon. But,
and now I'm afraid to post my photos of my Ilya cosplay because I was Ilya at Katsucon, and she's like 11, and I'm like, I'm not being her as a sexy adult. Like, I'm just wearing her outfit because I like her, but I know people are gonna come for my neck.
I mean, that's the internet for you. But yeah, for the record, I have views on that topic as well. Obviously, I come from a different angle, but I have other friends who share very similar ideas, and it's like, it's crazy. People are weird, and people are weird on both sides, because there are the sides that obviously, like it or not, there are people who would like it for those reasons, that like, oh, you guys must be, into that kind of, person. But on the same hand, it's like, it's probably so weird for a guy to say, but anyways, on the same hand, it's like, how are you supposed to not like them because they have a certain body type at the same time? You know what I mean? It's like that weird conundrum. I don't know. Throw it out there. Story time. My story time, I don't really have story time. I finished watching Ghost Stories. That anime with a really bad dub. And,
I know.
Yeah, my favorite. There's, oh my god, okay. This show has a terrible ending, and for those who haven't seen it, this might sound like a weird thing to gripe about. It ends. It actually wraps everything up in ways that actually most animes don't. Most animes don't get that kind of ending where everything is wrapped up, but this one does. Of all the shows to get a wrap up episode, it's this bullshit anime. It even gives like epilogues about what happens to everyone. And I actually hated that. I'm like, I wish it would have just stopped. Like they had one more rando ghost and just stopped there. But no, that didn't happen. We got an ending. And yeah, it's a good show. There's a lot of memorable lines, my favorite being, of course, the infamous, like, it would never work between us, not because you're a rabbit, but because you're black. And I was like, oh my god. Where she's in love with the bunny. It's like touch me harder.
Yeah, it's awful.
Look that up. It's terrible. We're all monsters for laughing at it, but it's a great show. There's also some really, like, Momoko, the Bible girl, turns into like, she has like a very weird, like, she suddenly starts turning, like, she has these very sexualized lines by the end, which threw me for a loop, because I'm like, when did she get a rewrite? Like, suddenly she's always talking about sex now. But anyway, let's go story. Let's move on. I realized the story time is supposed to be like 5 minutes each, and it's been like 20 minutes. Anyway, Konaru doesn't get one.
Yeah, I mean, she can have hers later, maybe.
So let's move on. We'll call it CV. Or we'll call it CV, because the topic we're going to talk about now, CV, CV.
I mean, is it bad to like name it?
It is, because it's like YouTube suicide. Now, mind you, I don't mind being demonetized. I really don't. I should show everyone like our monetization, like our monetization like status on all of our videos.
Mm-hmm.
Every video we upload, I swear to God, it gets demonetized. Usually because I curse all the time, like fuck this, fuck that. I remember that time we said, it's gonna sound so funny. You'd be like, what the fuck, Manuel? There was this podcast we did, like the Ecchi podcast. We talked about this idol group called Make It. And I said the word pussy 8 times in that podcast, like in a row. And our stream got kicked. Our stream got kicked. I'm like, we caught because I kept saying that word. And I made everyone say it out loud because I'm like, I feel weird to be the only one saying it. But I said it for a reason, mind you. But topical reason. But my point is, we always get demonetized, and then we get remonetized a lot of times. So I'm not worried about that. I'm worried about the video getting like blocked or deleted, which apparently has been happening sometimes. There have been all sorts of YouTubers. Like there's a gaming YouTuber I watch who talks about tech news, and he did a story about this illness in terms of how it's affecting Nintendo. Now, I'll start with that because that's a perfect topic. The whole thing we're talking about is how crazy it's expanded, not just in terms of its toll in like lives and people who are sick, but in terms of how it's affected everything, like commercially, economically, etc., etc., etc. Nintendo is seeing a Switch shortage because of this. It's going to start ramping up very soon. But more importantly, there's a game. I don't know if anyone's played it. It's amazing. A friend of mine has it. It's called God, what's it called? Wii Fit Adventure. I think it's called like Wii Fit Adventure. It's the one where you have the circle thing, and you put the Joy-Cons in there. It's an RPG. You run, and you're fighting this buff dragon. Go try to find that on Amazon right now. You're gonna find it being scalped like crazy for like $200. And the reason is because that was hit hard. Like that, Nintendo has come out on like kind of similar to when the SNES Classic and NES Classic sold out. They came out on record like, "Hey guys, we're not stopping printing these. We're seeing shortages, but just wait it out. We'll have more in stock." And the reason is because delays with their manufacturing plants in China. And so, anyways, this YouTuber just talks about this, and this video gets removed, and I guess he got it reinstated, but it was this huge ordeal. And so I'm just worried about that. So we'll talk in code. If it gets removed, I'll just cut this whole segment out. But it's so relevant. Have you seen how many things got canceled?
Yes, I have. It's crazy. Literally everything is getting canceled, and it actually is like there were 2 confirmed cases about 45 minutes from where I live.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's pretty scary. I'm not gonna lie. Now, before I delve any deeper into this, how do I say this like PCly? It is what it is. I'm not going to say it's blown into proportions because obviously, if it's getting to the point where people are actually dying from it, it's something to be concerned about no matter what. But common sense prevails. Practice normal hygiene. Wash your goddamn hands, everyone. Like, I can't believe like only in it's probably other places in the world, but only in America can you tell people wash your hands and people get angry. Because I'm like, I see so many comments. By the way, I realized over the weekend I was talking to, for those who don't know, I do other streams sometimes. I do like these watch streams where we talk about things we've watched, and I was on this stream, totally unrelated, and I was talking about how I had stumbled onto like the boomer side of Facebook, because everyone talks about Facebook being the boomer, social media network, but I never feel that. But I decided to click on some very popular posts, and I'm like, oh, there's the boomer. Click on any popular post on Facebook and you'll find the boomer. And depending on what the post is, you'll find the severity of boomers in terms of like how crazy their nonsense is. But go to the hand washing ones. There are people who are like, I don't have to wash my hands for it. I'm like, dude, you should be washing your hands anyway.
Yeah, it was really painful. 'Cause, when we were in Japan in November, you go to the bathroom at like the train station and there's no soap.
Oh.
Anywhere.
Yes.
You go to a restaurant, there's not usually soap. You go to the train station bathroom, there's no soap. Everyone just kind of rinses and shakes. And I'm like, oh.
Did you know there's no, for those who don't, obviously Ren knows this. I was trying to talk to the audience. By the way, fun fact, I don't know if anyone who has never been to Japan, or actually most of Asia doesn't know this. When you go to Japan, you go to a place and you buy you go to a konbini and you buy hand towels. Actually, fuck, I don't have it here. I have this swimmer one I like to carry with me because it's like this very girly one.
Over there somewhere.
So, and the reason you buy these and you always have them with you is because there's no paper towels like anywhere like in the bathrooms. Even if you first of all, there's no soap, but there's no paper towels. So like you have, I love rinsing it perfectly. You rinse and you shake, or if you happen to have thought ahead and brought your own hand towel with you, you could dry your hands that way. Which, by the way, fun fact, that hand towel eventually becomes a ball of germs, and it's like it's pointless wiping your hands with that even because that thing's a mess. But yeah, it's funny you mentioned that because there's actually these crazy statistics in Japan as well about people kind of like push back against the hand washing thing. And apparently, I remember the statistics. I don't have the survey. I'll try to find it and link it in the description. But there was a recent survey that was talking about that 53% of men, only 53% of men, wash their hands after using the restroom. And only 40% of women wash their hands. Which, by the way, I'm not gonna lie, that shocks me that women are less. I mean, it just blows my mind. Dude, no store in my area has had sanitizer. Yes, okay. So that leads to the next thing. Now, I'll admit, I'm gonna start the next part by saying I'll admit I'm part of the problem. So in Japan. Okay, let me start back up a little. So we have a chat for A to J, and people were sharing in the chat. Like we have people who live in Korea, we have people who live in Japan in our chat, and one of our people in Korea was going on about how things are running out, and someone in Japan's all like, "Oh yeah, I'm in Japan and we're out of toilet paper. Like we're out of toilet. Like the country apparently is out of toilet paper." And he has pictures to prove it, and I'm like, "What the fuck?" So I'm not gonna lie, I was like, "Oh, that's kind of like lol," like not to make the light of the situation, but then that night, I see a news report. I live in Torrance, by the way. I saw a news report that the Torrance Costco, and you could Google this on YouTube or whatever the fuck. There's the stories on the Now This about it. They had a run on toilet paper, and they're sold out of toilet paper and face masks and sanitizer and everything. So I'm not gonna lie, I went out the next day and I bought a ton of toilet paper. So I'm kind of part of the problem. But I just want to preface it with that. I realize now that I overreacted to, but yeah, it's insane. Like people are now. Ren's far too young to remember Y2K, but it reminds me a lot when Y2K was a thing. I was a pretty young child, for the record. I wasn't like 20, so I'm not gonna like boast that I remember how it was as an adult. But I remember Y2K. If anyone watches King of the Hill, oh, what happened? Oh, Konaru's on.
What? Yeah, I literally just walked in through the door. Also, what the fuck is wrong with your chin?
I'm bearded. Leave me alone. We're
Anyways,
drinking.
What are we talking about?
Hold on, everyone, guys. Let me just we're talking about people going crazy about. By the way, we're calling it CV. People going crazy about the illness and all the outages of products.
Oh, CV. Okay, yeah, no. In my city, the CDC released a person, and one of the malls actually shut down like yesterday. And they had to, like, decontaminate and everything. And, like, low-key, I was kind of worried because the day before, which is when apparently the person visited, we had some people come from North Star, or, like, the mall the mall over there to my store at Macy's, because they were looking for certain items. And, like, I know everyone's like, don't freak out about it, but I kind of have to because I have a weak immune system and everything. So it's like, yeah, a healthy person doesn't need to freak out over it, but I kind of need to. I need to take precaution because of my immune system. But yeah, that's the real tea. My city's screwed. I don't know.
My city's screwed. Okay, Konaru. Our whole point here is to not add to the hysteria. So.
Oh, well, okay. Well, I mean, my city's doing something about it. They're suing the CDC.
Yeah, and I mean, it is pretty surprisingly low in the fatality rate. So honestly, I think it's more panic tactics than anything. So I wouldn't worry too much. I mean, definitely, like, be careful, wash your hands. You don't want to get it, but I think it's mainly scary because people don't know what it is.
Yeah, that's what I feel too. It's just like an unknown thing. So not that, and just like with any other like previous thing, like with AIDS or anything like that, like no one knew what it was before then. I feel we had similar freak out with like SARS and AIDS and everything like that. But then of course it died down because we eventually researched it. Just give the government some time
I will say this.
Look into it.
Nothing
bad's gonna happen.
By the way, welcome Konaru to the show. Konaru's once
Hi,
again joining us.
Konaru, also known as Nyaru. I just got home from work. That's all I'm gonna say. Let's continue.
And for everyone watching at home, I did fix the thing, so now we're all proper. Sorry about that. Now Konaru has the rain first thing in her. It was funny because Ren had it for a minute because I forgot to move it. But I don't know why the rain first thing is still there. It's our meme until somebody joins us for the furry podcast. But
we still need to do the furry podcast.
Yes. Funny thing you mentioned that about the SARS and everything else. I will say this. I do remember all those other outbreaks. And don't get me wrong, I'm pretty sure people did get sick in the US, but I don't remember the death toll ever climbing. I mean, we're nearing the 2 digits. I don't want to scare anyone, but we're nearing the 2 digits in the US. And
it's still not as bad as the fatality rate for the flu.
No, of course. That's the biggest thing. Don't get me wrong, it really isn't. But not by far. By the way, and I will say this, I did look into that. Once again, I don't want to keep plugging my other little streaming shows. I'll have a link in the description if you're on YouTube. But I stream on other shows, and we got into a huge sidetrack comment about this last weekend. We looked into it live. Now, the reason why, the reason usually the flu isn't that deadly, but this year there's this huge spike in the flu, the normal flu, influenza, whatever one considers the normal strain of the flu. Now, I don't want to. I should stop. Like my little half laugh. By the way, I'm half laughing just out of like weird pseudo nervousness of talking this topic. So don't misquote me on this. One of the reasons that the flu in general has this crazy high death rate last year is because there's been a huge uptick in the amount of children that are now dying from the flu. Now you might be like, what does that mean? It means
anti-vaxxers.
Yes,
and stuff.
And it's been growing for the past 2 or 3 years.
Your kids.
Yes,
wash your hands.
Get your flu shot. Wash your hands. Cover your mouth when you cough and sneeze or whatever the hell.
Don't be nasty.
I hope no one hates me because I cannot get a flu shot. I'm allergic.
Oh no, that's actually you're exempt for that. Like, I don't know, I hate that stigma where it's like where people actually can't get
there's
a vaccine or a flu shot. They get mixed in with that crowd. Like, no, like you're safe, you're fine. Because actually, low key, I can't get the flu shot.
Yeah, there's a huge difference. If you
I have a really
bad
I've been having really bad reactions to it, and my doctor told me this year don't get it.
Same.
So yeah, don't worry, you're not alone on that. Actually,
there's a thing called gosh, I'm gonna get the terminology wrong. If I am, I apologize. I'm no expert in this. But there's a thing called like they call it like what do you call it? Herd vaccinations. Well, the idea is you vaccinate as many people as you can, and hopefully you protect that small percentage because
herd immunity.
Herd immunity. That's the word. There you go. Thank you. You eliminate the small percentage because it's like, oh, these people like won't get sick because 98%, 90, whatever the heck the actual percentage actually might be, who are able to get the vaccination get the vaccination.
Mm-hmm.
Now, this is a really, not to jump onto this. This will be the only thing I talk about anti-vaxxing. But I remember when I was a kid, like a literal kid, like 4 or 5. I remember like crying my ass off because I had to get all my vaccinations. Because I'm a kid, not because I didn't want to get them done. Because I had to get all my vaccinations done before I went to school. And I had to get them done. We had to submit this card that had like check off thingies to the school. And I'm like, whenever I see parents who are like, somehow their kids are getting to school, I'm like, did I miss something? In the past like 20 years, did we suddenly start letting parents decide that they didn't have to do that anymore? Because I remember specifically having to do it. But anyways, that's my last anti-vaccine thing. that's a topic for a whole different thing.
TLDR, wash your hands, get your shots,
but yeah,
etc., etc.
But moving on to like some of the more topical things, the Ghibli Museum is closed. Tokyo Disneyland and Tokyo, yeah. Well, maybe not closed forever, but it's closed because of this. Tokyo Disneyland, Tokyo Disney Sea, Pearland, Harmony Land, have all closed. Now all these have closed, and they're expected to open in mid-March. The thing is, it's already expected that it's not going to open in mid-March. Now, the reason that like they've only been open, now I did some digging. I'm like, why is it such a small window? And part of the reason is the government can't really force them to do it, because they're private businesses or whatever. So it's kind of like, oh, they're willing to sacrifice X amount of like, you know.
It's the same thing with all, like all the idol concerts too and everything. Like, there's still some that are still going to happen because Sasha Reno made a tweet about this that most idol concerts don't have insurance to cover outbreaks like this. They can do like weather, like acts of terrorism and stuff like that, but the only thing that isn't one of the only things that isn't covered is viral outbreaks like this. So they're not covered by insurance. Thus, they still need to go for it, or else it's going to be a huge money loss for them. Which, I mean, I still wouldn't do it because I wouldn't put anyone in risk like that. But, I mean, I'm not going to say anything else.
So those might continue, by the way. Those extended closings might continue. All schools are... okay, there was a call for all schools to be closed. Now, I know for a fact the school one of my friends works at is closed already. It was closed before they even made that call. And they're going to be closed for about a month. Now, a quick little aside, did you guys know this? Maybe Red knows, I don't know how it is for you seasonally. When I grew up, I used to think when schools closed for like a snow day or a storm day, that you just lost that day at school. But apparently you have to make those days up.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Then again, you're in California. This is super, super common in Texas where we get like, you have to make up a day. Like, let's say towards the end of the school, there's like a couple of days that's like saved for bad weather days or whatever.
See?
And they just extend it into those.
Exactly.
Is it common in Georgia too?
Because I learned about this. Through friends in Florida. Because friends in Florida have like, I don't know, with hurricane, they have like hurricane days. And like, I had an ex-girlfriend who had to miss a week of school because of a hurricane. And she had to stay an extra week of school of the school year, you know. And I was like, what the fuck?
Because otherwise, they would not get their government funding.
Exactly. That it makes sense. So apparently all these years, and I have a friend in New York who had a similar story about snow days. So apparently, the idea of a snow day or whatever day when you lose a day of school has been a lie to people who don't experience them. Just a random. By the way, I'm pouring another drink.
I think that wasn't a thing here until recently. I think they changed that.
Oh, really?
Georgia's all like, you missed a month of school. Well, good luck next year.
Georgia is whack in general, I'll be real. Like, the time I visited and, like, got to know the laws and everything, it's pretty whack there.
Yeah, she's talking crap, right?
It is pretty whack here.
Yeah, no kidding. Like...
But anyways, Pearland's closed, all that stuff's closed. Delta and JAL, Japan Airlines, have canceled a ton of flights.
My boyfriend was looking at the ANA premium stuff. He says the prices went down to like $500 for premium, like boarding and like and all that.
But it's not even like wanting to go. Like that flight might get canceled.
Yeah,
you might have nothing to do when you get there.
As much as he wants to go and like actually risk it, it's like no, it's gonna get canceled, and no insurance is gonna cover that.
Exactly. Also, this comes at the height of like soccer season and stuff like that, so it's pretty insane. Now, there's actually talk about canceling the Tokyo Olympics, and I looked into it.
Gonna happen.
Well, no, I looked into it. Apparently, there's legit talk. It's not just like, oh, a rumor on the news. Like, I'm sure everyone knows this. There is an Olympics committee.
Yes.
And there's been legitimate 100%. There's been like meetings about moving it. And And there's also been some talks about canceling it outright. So it's not just a crazy like, oh, blah blah blah, like news outlet said so. But I think moving it's probably more likely than canceling it. But you can't just move the Olympics.
As much as like I hope that they do cancel it, I'm pretty sure they're not, because one, it's such a big corporate event that capitalism is going to take over, and you can see where
and honestly, I'm sure that because it's not for a while still, that they're like, oh, well, things might be better by then. So
yeah.
Well, not to scare anyone, but most illnesses actually go up during the summer. So unless we cancel this out soon,
they go down in the summer.
No, heat doesn't kill the flu. But anyway,
actually, no, I'm just kidding.
Actually,
germs need the heat to survive or whatever bullshit. But no, anyways. Statistics, guys, look them up. But anyways, real fun facts. The Olympics have never been canceled. I looked this up. They've been canceled technically during 1916, 1940, and 1944. Now, anyone who ever passed like elementary school history knows what those years represent. World War I and World War II, respectively. So they've literally only been canceled when half the world was fighting itself. So they've technically never been canceled through times of quote-unquote peace. So, crazy stuff. I have stories beyond, because I have a friend in Korea who has like all that first-hand bullshit that was going on in Korea. How like there's actually like, even though there's all these racist outbreaks here in the US, believe it or not, this is happening around the world, and like not just against like the Chinese, but also against like foreigners in general. So he's having a lot of bullshit in Korea right now. It's all insane. By the way, 3 things: wash your hands, cover your mouth when you cough and sneeze, and don't be racist. Don't be racist. Let's add that to our other common sense bullshit. Don't be racist, guys.
Especially don't be racist. There's no reason to, really.
Yeah.
It's not.
I mean, I hate Ren, but it's not because she's I don't even know what you are, but
what? I'm
white with a capital H.
I was gonna. I mean, oh god, I had a joke there. That's all I was gonna say. I just literally forgot it because I thought it up. I'm kind of buzzed. So let's move on to Curry House closing down.
Okay, but before we talk about Curry House, can we talk about how my state is now getting really fucking lit with cons?
Yes. Lit cons
because,
in Texas.
what do you call it? Anime Frontier just announced like a really big Bandori guest, and
oh, is it that one chick from Bang Dream?
Yeah, the Saya Seiyu. Saya Seiyu. I forgot her name already. Because I'm not that big into Bandori, but like apparently a lot of people were messaging me like, "Oh my god, we're coming to Texas because of the Seiyu," and it's such a shock that.
Hey, guess what? I might be coming to Texas.
Oh my god!
For what?
Oh my god!
Which
for A-Con.
What, Ren? Oh my god! I literally hate A-Con.
Well,
we'll be there.
Well, we both hate Ren now, so now we're united or something, Konaru.
No, I just hate A-Con. Ren can get a pass, but I don't hate A-Con for some reason.
I'm not going for A-Con.
Oh, okay.
Are you going for the drugs?
I'm going for work.
The drugs.
I think I might know what she's going for, but I'll talk to you later about it.
The drugs.
But yeah, no, Texas is now becoming super lit. Everyone should come. I forgot the name of the Seiyu, but apparently they're gonna have like a whole Atlantis concert thing, like how they did in New York. And it's gonna be, and my state is relevant. Like that's a big thing too. It's just my state is now relevant, and this is pretty shocking that people are saying they're coming to Texas.
Like
for fucking Seiyu, because usually it would be like, oh, we're gonna go to California. Oh, we're gonna go to New York. Sometimes Georgia too, but not only for like AWA, but I mean we all flock there anyways.
Nobody goes to Texas for anything.
No one comes here for anything. It's so
real talk.
I want to see culture shock.
Real talk. Yeah, actually, I'm not gonna lie. Like Texas is insane for the small reasons. Like I had a history teacher who told us about driving on the freeway versus how to get off a freeway. Now this might sound normal as fuck to like Konaru. But they have, like, for those, I'm going to tell a story for people who live in California who have never been in Texas or whatever. They have, like, these freeways in Texas where like the speed limit is like 65, 70. What the fuck the speed limit is? I'll say 65. That's what it is here. So you're doing 65 on the freeway. Now imagine like an 8-lane freeway. 4 lanes either way. Now on the side of that, there are 2 lanes on either side, but these 2 lanes are the street. And you are supposed to somehow merge off the freeway and then suddenly hit 35. And like,
those are more common in like Dallas and Houston. Like here in San Antonio or like Austin, you don't really see those. But in Dallas and Houston, I hate those.
Yeah, you have
those are the worst.
You have these weird freeways that don't really have exits per se. They just suddenly literally merge with the street. And I don't mean merge as in they stop and the street begins. Like out of nowhere, the street joins it for like a couple miles. And then...
So those kind of streets, those are more common in the countryside actually, because like we'll have the highway and then it just like ends that goes like into a town. It's like a normal street, and then it picks back up into a highway.
It's like a trap. It's a speed trap, though. It's insane.
It is a speed trap. Oh yeah, it is.
Because it's like, how are you supposed to slow down that insane, or speed up for that matter? In that insane of a thing. But anyways, that's neither here nor there. But that's culture shock. That's culture shock right there, because that's the thing that nobody ever talks about. And I'm not going to go to the other low-hanging fruit. That's something that nobody ever talks about. That's insane.
But yeah, the TLDR Texas Relevant. Come to Anime Frontier.
Manuel, get us all into RTX. And what's RTX?
Oh,
I don't know.
I used to want to go to RTX.
What is RTX?
RTX Rooster Teeth?
Oh, yeah. Rooster Teeth. I like how everyone's all like, Rooster Teeth? I'm sorry, Ren. I think Ren's judging me hard.
It's not the hype as it lives up to, or at least anymore.
So I've heard.
Nobody likes
It doesn't
Ruby.
live up to its hype anymore. It's just kind of there now.
No one likes Ruby.
No. I'm not gonna lie. I'm familiar with like Rooster Teeth, of course. But I was so confused when Verve had their own because I had Verve for a while because there's reasons, but I had to steal footage from there. So I had downloaded Verve for a few cons, and I was seeing Rooster Teeth's streaming channel for the first time, and I just blew my mind that Rooster Teeth had enough things to create a channel, because I never thought that was a real thing. Anyways, that's my Rooster Teeth story. So let's move on. Lit cons in Texas. By the way, I'll close with saying this: any con is lit in Texas as long as it's not Anime Matsuri.
Exactly. At least it's not AM. Hashtag at least it's not AM.
I know. I feel like it was last year, last election with anyone but Trump or whatever, after Trump. It's as long as it's not AM. Oh, I got political.
Same
Fun fact, Super Tuesday. Let's look up the results later on. But
no, let's not. Let's not make this political.
You were here that podcast when I made it very political, talking about the AHS cult thing, and I was like, Trump this, Trump. I wasn't even drunk then. But no, I'm not gonna make it political. Don't worry. So Curry House closed down. Politics.
Curry House. I was craving curry the other day, actually, and I was like, I wish there was a curry house near here. And then that's when you posted that curry house closed.
So Trump closed down. I'm just kidding. Joking. I joke. I'm joke. I'm joke.
I'm gonna post it on Twitter.
As far as I know, Trump had nothing to do with that. But no, Curry House closed down. I'm surprised, Ren, you never been to Curry House, even in Little Tokyo? Now, I'm going to preface this. Now, I'm not going to lie. I talked a lot of shit about the weebs in Little Tokyo who made this huge thing about Curry House. But I found out recently that the very first curry house in the U.S. opened in Little Tokyo. That was the first curry house in 1983.
Oh, really?
Yes, I didn't know that. So I will back up in 1983, before any of us were born. So fun fact, I guess I've never said it publicly, but I will say that I was wrong. There was some cultural and historical background there. Now, you guys might know Ren definitely knows Curry House for this. Curry House is ran by House Food, or was run by House Foods something company. They're the same company that runs Koko Ichibanya. You really don't know, Ren. They're a chain in Japan. There's a ton.
They're the cheap ass curry chain.
But there's a ton of them. I know.
There is a ton of them.
Oh wait, is there one in New York?
Well,
yes, there is one in New York.
I was about to say, like, not only is it a chain in Japan, it's a chain in the U.S. as well. I like how Ren knows the New York one. Like,
I've been to the one in New York.
She only knows Go-Go Curry, the one with Harambe on. It's not Harambe, but the one with the.
Oh no, that's the one that we went to.
Because of Harambe, right?
No, it was what was recommended to us, and it was nearby. So
I'm not gonna lie. The first time I ever went to a Go-Go Curry place was like in 2016 in Japan, and it was like months after the Harambe meme was a thing. So I went there just for a hashtag, dicks out for Harambe or curry out for Harambe. What the fuck I tweeted?
Curry out for Harambe. I love that. That should have been the real hashtag.
That should have been the real hashtag. But oh man, I'm drinking too much. Rooster Teeth Con. I'm sorry. Not only is our delay a delay, but I'm also reading the chat very slow. But Curry House closed down. Now get this. They closed down without telling anyone. Oh, let me actually back up. So Curry House was sold last year to a company called, I actually have this written in my notes, Food Management Partners, who also run Hometown Buffet. And I guess Hometown Buffet has like 5 million other buffets. There's like Ryan's Buffet, Old Country Buffet, like Buffet. And they also run some places called Sushi and Zio's Italian. I've never.
Oh, I love sushi.
Oh my god! I'm not gonna lie. I only mentioned that because I'm like, I guarantee you, one of these two knows Sushi. And it's Konaru,
I
of
actually
course.
like their katsu.
I think it was recommended to me.
Yeah, I'm like, somebody's gonna have to know. I've never heard of sushi. By the way,
There's one here on the fancy side of town.
Like, I know of Hometown Buffet because there's actually one like in our local mall that has been there like since I was a kid, and there used to be a lot of Hometown Buffets around, and that was only that one, but yeah, they bought Curry House. I don't know why House Food sold it. I think because when they sold Curry House, they had started opening up Kokoichis here, so they probably didn't want to convert them, but they sold it. People online are calling it. Okay.
Goodbye, Konaru.
I'll be right back. I'm gonna go check on my pizza. 5 minutes.
She's checking on her pizza. No, we all stopped because you can hear it because of my speakers, by the way, guys. I mean, everyone who watched the podcast, you were able to hear that ping because my speakers picked it up. But we all stopped because she pinged the Discord chat. But you can always check out her pizza. But the internet has called it the Curry House Massacre, or my favorite. I love this more than that. The Brown Wedding. What the fuck is the Brown Wedding?
Oh.
Thank you. That was my reaction. Huh? What? What do you think when we think of Brown Wedding, Ren?
Poop.
Yes! I'm glad you said it, not me. I'm like, I can't be the only one who thinks that. I'm like, are you marrying poop? Did you like... Oh, man, before... Oh, God, Rooster Teeth Con, trip to Coco. Oh, but yeah, speaking of which, there's actually a lot of Coco Ichibanyas around here. There's several. So, if anyone who wants Curry House, I'm going to close it with this. If anyone wants Curry House, go check out Coco Ichibanya. Technically, they're the same thing. Whenever people are always all over internet, like, oh, go to Coco Ichi, they're better. I'm like, they're the same thing. I'm gonna share this little picture. A friend of mine took this. I'll credit him because he did take it. A friend of mine named Preacher took this. Preacher. I didn't ask him, but he did share. He did post it publicly. And people have been resharing it, so I'll put that there. And I'll post this other picture right here next to it of a close up of the sign. Now, people like I showed Ren and Konaru these already in our chat, but people actually made a memorial of sorts outside of the Little Tokyo one, where they had like candles and like a sign that they all wrote on. And I will admit that is peak fucking weeb right there. But I mean,
that is peak Hispanic.
She's a Hispanic. You made it about race. Who's?
Okay, but it is, because that's what we do here whenever anything like iconic closes, we just start making a mural of like,
oh no,
like a little memorial in the front of it.
I do see what I do see what Konaru was saying there. Like, I feel like they're gonna go buy those candles. You know the candles I'm talking about, the ones that have the same...
The cheap ass candles with Jesus on
yes!
it. Yes, that is, we have those at the ready at gas stations, HEB, like, those are at the ready for us.
Okay, I'm not gonna lie. I actually see exactly what I keep calling her Ren, and I'm not gonna lie. When you left, I kept in my head. I kept calling Ren Konaru. but I actually see exactly what you're talking about.
Pathetic.
You need another drink, Ren. But
Do I?
Well, I'm actually okay. We're definitely not gonna make this like the last time we drank on the podcast, because that was a mistake. But and by the way,
Oh, I know what else is a mistake? You.
Damn. Fun fact, in case anyone's ever curious about the drunk podcast, I do plan to share it. I will admit, when Ren said he's never gonna share it, whenever I mentioned that, like months,
he's never gonna share it,
and that was like 3 podcasts ago that she was on. That wasn't even a recent podcast. I thought I wasn't either, but then I made several edits, and
okay.
So it's actually done. And mind you, I'm not joking. Like, I literally would come back to it every 3 months because I thought I made like a 3-hour edit. I'm like, this is fine. But then I watched it and I'm like, oh man, I can't post this. So I cut out a ton more, then a ton more. And now it's like a cool trim, like just under 2 hours. It was from 4 hours, mind you. And so I'm like, this is publishable. Like, it's jump cutty, but our jokes are there, but none of the truly embarrassing parts. Ren, there are parts, I don't know if you remember this, like, not to get too off topic, but there are parts when you are legit, like, mind you, we're both just having our own conversations. Like, you're talking to me about something, like drunk talking to me, mind you. Like, you're having a drunk conversation, but I'm like, oh yeah, Ren, and then I don't reply to you. I just talk about my own bullshit. And then you talk about your own bullshit. And I talk about my own bullshit. And we're not talking to each other. We're just talking.
We're just having a conversation, but not with each other.
Yes! It was the best thing ever. I'm like, I watched it, I'm like, what are we doing? We're not talking to each other for like 30 minutes. Did everyone vote for Bernie?
Okay, so I have a rule about if talking about voting. You don't vote. You don't talk about who you vote for, or it won't come true.
Yeah. Okay. Fucking Peter Pan over there, Tinkerbell. But I don't know why I said that, but that makes no sense. Just quote me on that. Manuel, you suck, and Curry House sucks. Who is this?
Oh,
who is this? I don't even know who that is. I think I read them like, yeah.
Yes.
Oh my god. But yeah, without the don't come true part, I do agree with the sentiment about don't talk about who you voted for. But I will say this, I did vote. I did vote.
I
did vote too.
Okay, to be fair,
actually, I voted early.
Exactly. To be fair, and I will like be mad at Ren for this. I voted early. Thank you very much, Ren. You could have voted. You could have mailed it in early or whatever the fuck you want.
Who votes on the day of?
Exactly.
Like, oh, no, just kidding.
No, it's like, there's always lines. Well, I don't know about you. You didn't mail it to me.
Teasing.
You didn't.
I didn't know when voting started.
No one usually knows, actually, like, when early voting, like, my grandma just happens to know. She's like, hey, early voting starts, let's go, because she goes to, like, this cute little thing.
Usually someone tells me, but no one
tells me. It's like, tell me when to vote. Tell me when to vote, Bernie.
Like, no, it's funny, because, like, my grandma goes to, like, this cute little senior center that's, like, right down the street from us, and, like, they always, like, advertise to them, like, oh, go vote, and they have, like, all these political people come to their thing to like talk to them and give them snacks and everything. So she always knows when early voting starts because like all those political candidates are always coming to her little senior center and telling them to go vote.
Well, okay, like I don't want to like. I remember even when I was in elementary school, I had a really old teacher. Like she retired after us, like after our class, you know, moved on to the next grade. Really old teacher we had in elementary school. She actually told us in elementary school to like, and mind you, we're like fucking like, we're in 4th grade. We're like fucking like 8 or 9, and she's all like, "Go vote when you're older because all old people ever do is go vote because that's the only time we get to see our friends or whatever the hell." And I don't know if that part is true, but it is true that old people just, you know, it's a trend. Old people vote because they have the time. They have the, you know, I don't want to say what else they have to do, but you know, young people don't vote, and we all should have voted as young people. That's all I'm going to say there. That was and even my very old, like no exaggeration, she was probably like in her late 60s. Not that that's very old, but you know, even my late 60s-year-old, you know, elementary school 4th grade teacher told us this. I wonder how she's doing. I hope she's still around.
I remember when I was in elementary school, they had like it was like when I was in 1st or 2nd grade. When I forgot who was being elected, but they had us go in like this computer room, and they're like, "Okay, guys, you may not be able to vote, but we're gonna show you the importance of voting." And like the school or like some national organization set up like a voting system online for like school kids to go vote, and they had it open during like the same time frame as the voting for the primaries or whatever. So we got to vote on the computer, and I was like, "This is whack. Why are we voting when it doesn't even count?"
Oh man, speaking of voting when it doesn't count, I don't think I've ever said this ever outside of elementary school. If you knew me in elementary school, I meant to say, when I was in 5th grade, I ran for like class historian or whatever the fuck. It was historian. I remember that. I ran for a school office, and I had to write a speech and everything. And I remember like, I don't want to sound smug, but I was like the smart kid in that class, and like in that year entirely, I knew I was pretty popular. I knew a lot of people, but like the person who won was like the literal like. See, I don't want to. This sounds super political. The person who won was the girl who I told the story in a past podcast that I went to her birthday party, and she was like this. She was like the rich girl. Or I went to her brother's birthday party, and they were like this rich family, and it was like so awkward because we were like this poor family went to the rich kids party. She was like the rich kid in the school.
I hate that.
And she won. She beat me, and I felt like. And mind you, when I got older, and I don't mean like recently. I mean when I was like in my like late teens or early teens, I was all like, that right there, me losing that election, is like a microcosm of the political system in the United States or in the world even. Like, like I lost to like I don't want to see. You don't know her. I don't want to badmouth her. I'm not gonna even name her. Obviously, I know her name. I'm not gonna mention her. But it's like I lost to like the rich candidate who literally sent out like favors with candy. Basically bought votes through candy. I'm like, what the fuck? I lost to elementary school Mike Bloomberg. I lost to elementary school Mike fucking Bloomberg. There, I said it. That's what I had to say. And it came up again when I was thinking about the
weird boomer teacher. I love it.
Yeah,
you would be a boomer teacher.
I'm not that much older than you. Okay, I'm not that much older than you guys.
You're still a boomer. You act a lot like a boomer.
I'm not gonna lie, I do, because I'm so done with shit. I'm old at heart. When I was your guys' age, I was already done with life.
Okay, boomer.
Okay, that's drunk talk. But anyway, everyone vote. Manuel,
I was
boomer
homeschooled.
teacher. Oh my god, boomer teacher.
You're over here talking about elementary school, and I'm like,
I didn't know that you were homeschooled.
I was homeschooled. I only went to public school in high school.
Oh shit.
Oh wow.
That's why I'm so awkward.
Honestly, I still went to public school, and I'm awkward as fuck. So.
Well, I've also never really told this before, but I actually went to a Christian private school my first few years of school, like up until 2nd grade. So I actually have fun stories about that, about being about getting corporal punishment, like, you know. So I talked about it on the podcast before about actually getting paddles and shit like that. That was a thing that happened in Christian private school, by the way. But because I cursed, I think I said damn. I said this on the past podcast, but I think I said damn, and I got the paddling for that. Manuel acts older than a boomer. Who is this? Who are you? Who are you, Merla Wu, whatever you are?
I feel like I know her.
I know, who is this?
I feel like I know her. Okay,
Kurt Cobain's dad.
What are you talking about?
Oh my
god. Oh my god. I know who that is now. I know who that is because he brought up Kurt Cobain. Danny, get out of the chat. Because if anyone gets me really drunk and if you ask me about Kurt Cobain, I will go mad off on like conspiracy theories, and I'm not gonna do that right now. But some people in the chat know.
Don't.
No. I won't right now, but I will say at ALA, I met someone who did it without me having to talk about it. Somebody brought up not Kurt Cobain, but somebody brought up someone else. They're like, "Have you heard the conspiracy theory about Kurt Cobain and him?" And everyone in the room who knew me groaned. They're like, "Oh no, don't mention that to Manuel." And I lost my shit. I was like, "See, someone else says it." But yeah, don't get me started about that right now. By the way, it has nothing to do with Kurt Cobain's dad. Moving on. No more voting. Everyone vote. Does anyone know who ran the primaries? I actually think, not gonna lie, last time I was checking, Biden was doing really well. R.I.P. If you're not a Biden fan. Biden, I will run with the Republican running mate, Joe. But yeah, I said that backwards. But yeah, let's not get political. I will get political if you want to ask me personally. I just don't want to get the podcast into it. So let's move on about bones.
Bones!
Ren's all like, bones. I'm gonna open up Ren shows off a very special bones. I'm gonna open up my very special drink that a friend of mine got me from Vegas called Kinky. And shout out to shit, I swear I know your name. I'm just drunk right now. Shout out to the friend who brought me this. Thank you. Ren, take it away. Bones.
So, I collect bones, mainly animal bones, mainly the heads, because I think they're the most interesting. Although it is my dream someday to have a full, hello camera, to have a full cat skeleton that's like strung up completely, because they're one of my favorite, because they have such small bones, and when they're all set up together it looks so nice. So this guy here, we do believe he is a deer, or was rather. This was one of my first bones that my dad brought home for me.
That's cute.
Yes. And then for my birthday a few years ago, my high school best friend, she got me a mink skull for my birthday. He's very well cleaned and preserved, because he's the only one, this mink skull is the only one that I've gotten from an actual person who preserves and cleans and puts them back together so that they look the way they're meant to. All of my other ones, I have they've been picked up by my dad, because my papa had a farm, so my dad will go out and clean up every now and then and find bones for me, or they've been ones that I have found and left to rot.
Well, not to interrupt real fast, but my dad, I mentioned this in the past podcast, my dad used to purchase animals and slaughter them and cook them. He did this to a goat, he did this to a cow, a pig, and so on. And we actually used to keep the skulls, and we tried to dry them out, but they got disgusting really fast, and they never got
you have to degrease them.
Yeah, see, obviously we didn't know what we were doing. We legit just thought that if we left it out to the elements, it would turn white like that. And it didn't.
Yeah, these are two that I did myself. They're both raccoons.
Oh.
They're very cute, actually.
Yeah, I don't know where his jaw went. He didn't come back with one.
Oops.
So, I think this is the one my dad shot, and that's why he doesn't have a jaw.
Oh shit! In the jaw.
So yeah, and then I've also got they're kind of hard to get to, so I'm not going to move them. But I've also got a very big cow, a goat with horns included, and one that I don't know what it is. One of my mother's coworkers brought it for me. It's painted. It's very beautiful.
Oh wow!
Oh wow! I didn't even. That's crazy.
Isn't that crazy? So yeah, that is my current collection. I want more.
Everyone, send bones to Ren if you have bones.
I'll take teeth too. I really like teeth, human teeth.
I wish you could have told me that before. I actually do have a teeth collection, and I don't mean human teeth. I have some of my teeth too, but I have teeth. And I was actually talking to a friend about this before, like long before we did the podcast. A friend of mine asked me, "What are you going to talk about during the week?" And I'm like, "We have a big topic, but our small topics are the CV, blah blah blah, and bones." She's like, "What about bones? Like, Ren likes bones. I don't have any skulls, but I have a lot of teeth." And I was all like, "I should have brought my teeth." And I'm like, "That's gonna be awkward." Like, I'm like, collecting bones is one thing. Collecting teeth sounds just like I'm like a serial killer or something.
Teeth are my favorite. If I was a serial killer, I would collect teeth.
I like how you said the exact thing that I was worried that people would think. But yes,
I think I would collect teeth and probably finger bones because I like the way they look.
That's like the kind of thing you'd make necklaces. That's like some Leatherface shit right there, and I love it.
Dude,
but,
I made my wisdom teeth into earrings.
Are you serious?
That's actually really cool.
No,
yeah.
It's funny you mention that because like I got my wisdom teeth out, and like I've been around with like a couple friends and a couple ex-girlfriends have had them out too. They never let us keep the teeth, and I don't know if they felt awkward, but I felt awkward asking. But I think one of my friends did ask, and they wouldn't let them. But I'm like, they didn't let us keep our teeth, or they didn't give them to us. I should say to be more accurate.
Oh no! I was like, I will have my teeth. You will give me my teeth. Those are mine. They're coming out of my mouth. I will have them. So.
I mean, I actually have most, probably all. I don't know how many teeth I lost. I have most of my baby teeth floating around in a tooth. Like, I don't know where we got it from. I assume a dentist. There's like a teeth like container, and I have most of my teeth like kept in it. I still have it, and I actually remember specifically when like the whole tooth fairy thing. When you're a child, my mom explained to me the tooth fairy to me, and I was like, I don't want to give the tooth fairy my teeth. And I just kept them. And she's all like, no, just give her your teeth. I'm like, no, I'm going to keep them. Like, she'll give you $1 or what the fuck tooth fairy gives you. And she actually convinced me, like, you'll get the money and you'll keep the tooth. I guess just to, like, keep the tooth fairy thing going. So, yeah, that was my tooth. My tooth fairy never took my tooth. They just gave me a treat. Or I think it was usually $1 or $2 or something. And then I kept my tooth.
My parents won't let me have my teeth, my baby teeth.
They have them?
Yeah, they kept all of them, and
then they won't give them to you?
She won't let me have any of them.
That's some crazy shit. No, I kept mine. I legit was like hoarding them. Like when the first one, I think two of mine came out like kind of back to back, and it was like, why didn't you put your like? I love how my parents knew this, and I'm supposed to keep tooth fairies a secret. My parents were like, "You're not leaving your teeth out for the tooth fairy." I'm like, "No, they're my teeth. Tooth fairy is gonna keep them." And that's how I think by the time the third one came out, they're all like, "Oh, you'll get a treat, and you get to keep your teeth." And they let me keep them. I don't know why they could.
Yeah, I mean,
they could have just copped out and been like, "Fine, keep your teeth." Tooth fairy doesn't give you shit, but I guess they wanted to be nice. But yeah,
as a kid, I really valued candy more than teeth, and I thought fairies were really cool, so I kind of wanted to capture her.
Oh my god! You're like setting up like a box and a string.
I did! That's exactly what I did!
A box and a string. Does anyone remember eating bone-shaped candy? Now, fun fact, I remember that recently. I don't know if I saw that as a kid, but there's like Smarties. I don't know if it might actually be Smarties brand. There's like Smarties candy that come in bone shapes. And, like, I only know this because, like, when I was doing that Halloween episode last year, when we did that candy tier thing, I came across a bag of bones, of bone candy, I mean to say. Mm-hmm. But other than that, I don't know what Wesley's talking about there. Oof, man, sorry. Also, I had a friend when I was growing up. Now, I don't want to rag on him because he's a friend of mine that was always like I loved him. He was my best friend at the time, but we grew up and he was always like poor, and he was actually homeless several times. Not to get too weird there, but not that that has to do anything to do with it. But I'll never forget the way he would eat chicken. Always blew my mind. Not only did he eat them to the bone, that's whatever, but he would break the bones and suck the marrow out. And it always struck me as very ghoulish. And So whenever someone talks about eating bones, even candy, I remember my friend who would eat the bone marrow, who would suck them out the chicken bones, and that just struck me as okay. So yeah, I'm glad I'm not the only one who thinks that's a little odd. But yeah,
Okay,
I
not
don't like
to
that.
totally like disprove y'all, but I've had bone marrow before, like from like a cow bone. That shit's actually really good.
but okay, have you had it like already prepared and extracted for you, or did
Yeah.
Or,
It's
exactly,
extracted and
exactly.
prepared for me and
That's.
everything.
I mean, that's kind of like wrong to like. That's kind of a little classist to say that that's fine and breaking a bone and getting it isn't. I will admit that. But that's another story. But actually, legit up breaking a bone and sucking it out just strikes me as odd. It's like you have to do that shit on its own behind the scenes and just hand it to me as a prepared item that I'm having. Don't. I'm
yeah,
not gonna...
but I mean, I also can't stand watching people eat crab either for that same reason.
No. Crab is another story because crab, our shellfish are literally sea bugs. Nobody will listen to me about this, but if you ever eat bugs, now not to get too disgusting here, but if you ever eat bugs, all that stuff when you squish a roach, like all that white gunk that comes out, if you ever cook a roach, okay, Rand's all like gonna vomit now. If you were ever to cook a bug, that stuff becomes like kind of a very lobster like meat. It really does. Not to get disgusting here, but it becomes a lobster like meat. You know what I mean? So whenever you eat a lobster or crab leg, just remember you're eating a bug.
I am so thankful that I'm allergic to shellfish.
I eat bugs, so
You eat bugs. No,
yeah.
I actually, whenever I'm traveling, because I never see them locally, it's always like in a random ass gas station somewhere in BFE, California, that I'll find like the chocolate covered grasshoppers, the chocolate covered ants, and like, you know,
Those are everywhere here.
Exactly. I was gonna say, like, I'm sure that's gonna shit you find all over Texas and like, you know, Arizona, the desert area. But it's never that you don't find that. I'm sure if I went to like some fancy ass place in LA, but you could always find this shit like all over the place in the random ass gas stations between here and like here in San Francisco. If you go to a random gas station rest stop, like the more barren the better, you'll find that shit.
You know, one of these days, I'm just going to come on the podcast and I'm going to have all of my favorite TikToks downloaded and I'm just going to make you guys watch my favorite TikToks for 2 hours.
Is it your TikToks?
That's fine. I'm willing
No,
to do that.
my favorite TikToks. I don't
No.
have 2 hours worth of...
No, my favorite TikTok is like all those. There's actually several of them. The ones when you're like high or you're on acid, and it's like you walk in the door, like does this. It does like that weird pixel thing. It doesn't actually open. It just comes like this, and then the person you're talking to is like an orange. And it's like, "Hi, Deborah Scabbard. Hi, Deborah Scabbard." It's like, what?
Yeah. Those are my favorite types.
No, because I've literally been there like from 5 edibles in, like when I'm staring at a wall and someone's talking to me, and I'm hearing that. Like, let me see if I can find it real fast. I'm actually trying to find it real fast. Like, I'll see if hopefully YouTube has it. But do you know what I'm talking about, Konaru? Where the door opens funny. Oh, I have to upload.
No, I'm still not that versed in TikTok, so you have to send me a TikTok example.
I don't know what. I never scab. Like what?
Let's see what I got in my likes. Okay, I know this one's been going around Twitter, so I'm sure people have seen it already, but it's currently one of my favorite ones.
I grant you 3 wishes. Okay, I wish for 3 more wishes. You may not wish for more wishes. Okay, then I wish that wasn't a rule. You may not wish to change the rules. I wish you weren't a stupid bitch. I don't really know. I wish you weren't the ugliest fucking person I've ever met. These wishes are really subjective. Yeah, I wish I cared. I'm just really trying my best. Like, this is like my first day. Like, can you just like wish for something normal? Like, just like money or like. I wish you would cry harder and not stop. Your wishes make him. What's your second wish? I wish no one could ever talk to you ever again. Your wishes make me. What's your 3rd wish?
What the fuck is that?
You can't leave until your wishes are fulfilled. I grant you 3.
happening?
That's a really, really good one.
What else do I have in here? What else do I have?
I sent too many
Well,
memes
let's see
and
what I
I'm
have.
stupid. Yeah, I'm going through it too.
And this one, this is me.
What the hell? What is happening? Oh my
He just
God.
he goes out in public and screams songs.
Hold on, I found one of them. Wait, is this even the one? Oh no, it's not the one. Ah! I closed it for nothing! Okay, whatever, I'll find it.
Hey.
Y'all, look at this lemon.
What the f- Who would do that?
That was so gross. Y'all.
I like the moment where you can see in their face they're processing, yeah, I'm gonna eat it.
Oh man, I think it was my fault. The broadcast, it'll come back. The broadcast ended.
Whoops.
Our stream ended. It's my fault because I was trying to like search too many things. It'll come back if we leave it on. It'll come back. I found that out myself.
Okay, here's more
Keep
TikTok.
going.
I wanna do the full do it, but they won't say it to me. I mean,
What the fuck is that?
He just makes songs. Oh, what else do I have in
Watch your
here?
5 viewers. There it goes. It came back.
Hooray.
Okay, we came back. Sorry, guys. That was my fault for looking up like too much shit on TikTok myself. Look up my.
Did you study last night? No. What'd you get? Not necessary. How long did you study last night? 8 hours. What'd you get? 42. Hey, did you study last night?
Oh, that's strong. Oh my god. Okay, Ren, I think you need a drink.
No.
I'm gonna nurse that one for the rest of the night, though. No more hard drink for Manuel until the podcast is over. Ooh. Ren's like, no, I don't need another drink. What are you drinking anyway?
I was drinking rum.
Oh. Someone find me the Hi Deborah Scabber one while I'll click on it on my phone and put it in the chat. I
mean, I have.
There's a bunch of them. I don't know which one was the first, but yeah, there's a billion of them. But they usually follow the same format where like the door opens weird and then they're talking to someone like what, and then they start yelling.
But I'm gonna show one more. Okay, it's
Okay.
it's one that I have watched almost like every morning because it makes me. I can't even type enter. Yeah. Okay.
Oh, it's still on Bones. We're like on TikToks now. Bony TikToks.
Okay, and I have to download the video because it's better when you can see it. Okay. Alright.
I was mentioning this on. Wait, are you downloading it? Oh, there it goes. Are you downloading it?
Yeah, I have it.
Okay, go. What the fuck is that? What is that? I totally blew in the mic. Sorry, guys. If anyone's, that's not my ASMR. Like, but
Ew.
everyone heard that, and everyone heard the blowing in the. Sorry about that. That was my ASMR there. But yeah, when we were at ALA, we're partying in our room, and we're all waiting for Angie to show up. Angie's a friend of ours, like does some very idol stuff with Ada G and so on. And we're partying in our room, and we're doing our room karaoke bullshit. And we happen to be singing a bunch of Disney songs at this point. And at one point, I remember because like me and another friend of mine were arguing about musical versus movie Disney versions, like, you know, Part of Your World and, you know, Whole New World, etc. And we were comparing the at this point we were comparing a Whole New World, the versions. So we started singing the movie version. I don't know who the fuck sings the movie version. We started singing the movie version, and so we're singing that song, and like all of us are singing it. We're singing it really loudly in our room, and all of a sudden I get a message from Angie. She's like, "Are you singing A Whole New World?" And I'm like, "How the fuck? We're in our hotel room. What do you mean? Are we singing A Whole New World?" I thought I had called her, butt dialed her. She's like, "I'm in the room next door to you." And TLDR, the hotel totally on accident, without us asking, roomed like us together, like right next to each other. And yeah, that was actually really fun times. She got like shit faced, and she was able to walk back to her room, obviously super easily, and die over there, and it wasn't our problem anymore. It's like, here's your friend back, Angie's friends. Make sure she doesn't die tonight. Well, that's fucked up, but yeah. Oh man, good time, good party times. Remember that, Wesley? You were there, and so was Danny. Everyone was there in that chat that was here. I think Nestor might have been there too. Would everyone go? Everyone. Oh wait, people are back. Never mind. I'm yelling at people watching us. Did you look it up, Ren? I don't even know what you would call it. I'm too.
It'll have to be a next time thing. I have so many likes. It's buried in there somewhere.
Oh, okay. Well, whatever. We'll move on. We have some Reddit bullshit to go on next. We might go a little bit randomness. I mentioned in the notes here that like whenever, oh shit, someone sent me a thing. Why did I set the podcast for this? Dude, you don't do it. The AX press thingy's opened, and one of our other people's getting eager and wants to fill it out himself. I'm like, I fill out the apps, thank you very much. But anyway, just sorry if you're watching, but I'll fill it out later. Don't worry. If he's watching, I don't know if he actually is. He might, because he knows I'm on the podcast. He might tune in. Like, what's Manuel doing? Is he talking about me? Because he knows I probably would. But if anyone watches Corpse Husband, he reads a lot of like creepy stories. Usually they're Reddit, but sometimes they just get submitted to him. There was this deep web story about like, I think it was like Deep Web Mysteries number something. I'll find the video the story's on, and I'll link it in the description on YouTube. But he told this deep web story about this guy who had this drug dealer friend of his who like he started to get his drugs from, whatever the fuck it was. I don't think they ever said what it was. He get his drugs from him and whatever, but he got a little too settled, so he started delivering to his home address. And after a while, he started getting some drugs that tasted weird. So he contacted his dealer. He's like, "Hey, what's up?" And the dealers are like, "Yo, man, I killed your friend, and I melted his body, but I couldn't get rid of the bones, so I ground them up and I sent them to you. And like, lol, you've been like, you know, snorting your friend or whatever. And it's like, I'm gonna come kill you next or whatever." And it was like deep web, you know, like creepypasta or whatever. But TLDR, that's Ren right there. Ren secretly kills people, grinds up their bones, and sends them to people as drugs. Ren smiled. I'm just gonna say, I don't know, man. I called Ren out good. Ren is.
I like bones.
That's Ren right there. Oh man. Konaru, you have any bone stories? Yeah. We're not on phones anymore.
Actually, no, not really.
You really don't?
No. I mean, like, I'm interested in bones. Like, bones are cool and everything, but, like, I haven't been exposed to them like y'all have.
I
have BBT. I have baby teeth and stuff like that, but that's the closest I'm gonna get to bones. Like, I've never broken a bone.
You've never broken a bone?
Actually,
I've never broken a bone.
Really?
I have a stress fracture in my foot, but that's it.
I sprained my ankle really bad to the point it's like my ankles are really fucked up. That's the closest I'm gonna get to a broken anything.
To be fair, I broke my foot when I was really young in a fucking escalator. It got stuck in the side of an escalator. I mentioned in the podcast before. It got stuck in the side of an escalator, and like it got like destroyed basically. And I had like wear a special shoe and everything like that for a few months. But I didn't get a cast, funny enough. But I just wore a wooden shoe and I had to tape my toes up. But recent-ish, when we interviewed Morning Musume and Anime Matsuri, yes, that kind of shit. And this is a funny story that I have for this is my karma for going to it, even for Morning Musume. When we get to the show, there's like, the typical barricade, but like there was like a step to get up to the barricade, and we're pressed, so we got in first, and we're getting in, and like I tripped really hard on the barricade. I didn't fall, I just tripped. And I'm like, ow, that really, really hurt. And the whole show, I was like on one foot, but I was like against the barricade, so I didn't really notice it. And I was like, that really hurt. My foot fucking is killing me right now. But I did my shit. I took all my pictures, did whatever the fuck. I even joked around with fuck, I forgot his name. The French guy who used to run up front overseas, and so on. And we're all done. We go back to the hotel, and I realize I can't. We're trying to go back to the hotel, and I realize I can't walk. I cannot walk. Like, I was there with Tipu and a friend of ours named Eric, who was also A to J at the time, and they literally had to like, not carry me, but like, I was on either of them, and then we like hopped out, and they left to get me a wheelchair. And I don't know if you guys would have done this to me, but because I couldn't walk, and I didn't know if they were gonna like. It was hard for us to like hop the whole way, or me to hop and be half dragged. So he's get a wheelchair to be a lot easier. And him, Tipu, Eric, and Tiffany. Tiffany was there too, but obviously Tiffany's not going to carry me. She's like half my height. They decided to go find a wheelchair. So they go to find a wheelchair, and they get distracted because Aika Matsui is there from Morning Musume talking to everyone. So they go there and start talking to her, and I'm like, guys, I'm in a chair, I can't move, I need to go back to the hotel, I think my foot's broken. And they're just talking to Aika Matsui, having a good time, and leave me there. Eventually, no joke, I'm not making this up by the way, they left me there. Eventually, I guess somebody saw me, like security, and I'm like, I think I broke my foot, can somebody get me a wheelchair? So they got me a wheelchair. And they start wheeling me to the hotel room because we couldn't find them anymore. So so the medic guy starts wheeling me to the hotel room, which is right. It's connected. It's a close hotel. And fucking Texas, in California, you could not get away with this. We go to the hotel, and I didn't notice this until we get to the hotel. There are steps to go to the hotel, and there's no ramp anywhere. And I don't know if Texas does not have the, certain laws about that kind of shit. I'm like, where is your ramp, guys? It's like, I had to get out and like hop. Okay, I didn't have to get out and hop my way. I got out partway, started hopping, and some randos, like total randoms from the hotel, like helped me like hop the way up. And then wheeled me to the room when I get there. And then when I get there, I'm there about an hour, and then everyone shows up all having a good time. Like, oh yeah, we saw Aika Matsui, blah, blah, blah. Like, ha, ha, ha. Oh, you broke your foot? That's funny. Ha, ha. I'm glad you got here. Ha, ha. They just... Wow. But yeah. That was a long-winded way of talking about
That reminds me of when Megan's foot was, like, really, really messed up. And she was in a wheelchair for a long time. And we went to the Pride Parade in Atlanta with Megan in her wheelchair. And we're just like letting her roll down hills in her wheelchair. we're like, ooh, Megan, we're gonna let you go. And she's like, please don't. Ooh, no, gonna let you go. Gonna let you go. And of course, boom.
Oh my god!
Megan goes rolling down the hill.
What the fuck? That's
alright. we'd immediately run and grab her and stop her from going too far too fast. But you know,
But if you like, grabbed her and jostled her, she like flew out the chair anyway. Oh man, that's terrible. But yeah, fun fact.
shouldn't have been in a wheelchair.
Oh my god, that whole ordeal was a mess. Like they didn't have a. Obviously, that wheelchair wasn't mine. It was the con. So they went back after the hotel. They just took the wheelchair back. So that next day, I had to like limp with them to go get breakfast, to go do whatever, and I was just stuck at the hotel. I was like, I can't go anywhere. So I just sat there in the lobby until we had to leave, like go back home in the airport. And
Oof.
yeah, the airport did give me a wheelchair. Dude, I could not. Have you ever been into an airport in a wheelchair? I guess none of you have.
No.
Now, they had to search me, and they're like, "Can you stand up?" I'm like, "I guess I can." I'm like, "But I'm in a wheelchair." So they had to search me in the wheelchair, and then my foot is swollen by this point. You can see it visibly. And it's wrapped in like bandages that I forgot who would give me the bandages, but it was wrapped in something. But my foot was swollen. You could tell by looking at it. Like, dude, what the fuck happened to your foot? And that fucker starts pressing on it to see if I'm like hiding drugs in there. I don't know what the fuck. He starts pressing on it, and I'm like, oh, I shout, I'm like, oh my god, ow, ow. And he's like, oh yeah, your foot's really swollen. I'm like, what the fuck, dude? I told you, I think I broke it. I'm trying to get home. Like, I don't want to go to a doctor in Texas. Probably just shoot my foot off with a shotgun or something. Is that racist enough, Konaru?
Guns are more affordable than doctors here.
Exactly. I'm like, if I just shoot my foot off, like, there you go, bro. Have a nice life. Fucking bastards. But yeah, he straight up just was pressing on my foot that was all swollen, and I had to just grin and bear it and go home. Yes, I'd agree. I have no idea what he's agreeing to, but oh, I'm reading the chat. I don't know when that came, but there's no timestamp on it. But this was totally unscripted, talking about bones that we broke. But yeah, that was and fun fact, just to get, I'll tell this part really fast. I get home and I go to the doctor, of course, and the doctor's all like, "Oh, your foot's not broken; it's just really sprained." And I'm like, "What the fuck? I can't walk on it. What do you mean it's just strained?" It's like, "Yeah, it's fine. Just maybe wrap it up if it feels bad. You keep it tight." I'm like, fine, whatever. So I go to work for like a week walking on it, and it hurts like fuck. And I'm just like living my life. Then after about a week or two, it starts to like, it doesn't feel better, but it starts to like, it feels less painful. And I get a call back from the doctor, and they're like, "Dude, your foot's broken. You gotta come back and we gotta set it." And I'm like, "Are you fucking serious?" Yeah, exactly. I'm like, "Are you fucking serious? Like, it doesn't hurt anymore. I've been walking on it for like 2 weeks now." So yeah, I just went on with it. For all I know, my foot's like twisted. I mean, it looks fine, but for all I know, the bones are like growing on top of each other because I never. But that's not my fault. Like, I'm like, what are you getting? And they actually did tell me this. Like, they might have to re-break it because, like, you know, if it was like peeling wrong. But I'm like, nah, man, fuck you guys. I'm just gonna, like, it feels okay. I'm just gonna keep walking on it now, whatever the fuck. So I've been, obviously, that was like 3 years ago. So yeah, that's the last time I broke. To be fair, I think that I've only ever broke my foot those 2 times. So yeah, that's it. That's my foot broken story.
Lit.
Crazy talk, right? I've never broken any other bones.
I've never broken a bone. I sprained stuff, but never broke.
I had a tumor that I had removed, and I was in a cast for a while.
Oh,
That
where was
sounds
it?
lit.
My leg.
Oh shit. When I first broke my foot, the first time when I was a kid, they put me in a cast, and I remember hating it because I had to like use crutches. Did you have to use crutches?
Yeah.
Oof. I feel.
They suck. They suck.
I didn't like crutches. I remember like my mom, because I was really young, mind you. I was like legit like elementary school, like 3rd or 4th grade. And I remember my mom used to get mad at me because I would crawl around the house because I didn't want to use the. I mean, obviously if it's probably higher up, you probably couldn't crawl the way I did. But it was on my foot, so I just crawled. Because I'm like, I'm not going to use those crutches. So I would just crawl and then lift myself up when I got wherever I was trying to go. That was the way.
Wow.
That was the way I moved around the house. My mom used to get mad at me. Like, you have to use your crutches. I'm like, I'm not going to crutch myself around the house. Like, I'm just going to crawl and then hop along a surface if I need to. Oh, man. I don't know, man. I don't know if I'm sober enough to get to the Reddit nonsense that we had planned.
I mean,
We had Reddit stuff planned.
I pulled. I think nobody read the fucking the thing. I actually had things to react to and things to like read. But
deal.
I think we'll skip that and we'll just save that for another night and we'll just talk BS for the rest. Oh, it's kind of late. But we'll just we'll just talk BS for a bit longer and then we'll wrap it up. I didn't realize. Shit. Have another drink, Ren. What the hell? We're almost done. Go fill yourself another rum cup with you have some Coke there.
With strawberry rum? No.
Oh, that sounds kind of disgusting, actually.
It's honestly, it's not bad. I
don't like strawberry. Is strawberry Coke even a thing?
No, but I've had peach Coke.
Yeah, I was gonna say like peach Coke, cherry Coke, vanilla Coke, Coke. I meant cocaine Coke, by the way, when I said that. But yeah, Coke is a thing, but I don't know about strawberry Coke. Fun fact, I don't think your name is that anymore, but a friend of mine, I don't even know. Oh shit, there's a lot of people watching us right now. I feel weird, like, just babbling now. I actually forgot we're at that point of the podcast when I forget we're doing a podcast, where we're just chatting amongst each other. Oh man, Ren, just take a shot of your strawberry Coke. Oh. So
must I?
What'd you say?
Must I?
I mean, there was a suggestion. I'm saying you have to, but I'm trying to think of a nice topic to close on that we can discuss. That doesn't shit. How did it get so late? We were going to talk about the dark web, the deep web. What I did find amusing was Ren didn't apparently know too much about it. I don't know if I'm wrong with saying that.
I know that people go there to hire murderers.
Well, what are you eating? What are you drinking, Konaru? You're making a lot of noise.
I'm drinking. I'm eating ice.
Like you're making a lot of noise over there. It reminds me of when you fuck with your mic and you're playing with it, like you're like this mic and you're just like blah, 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 making all these noises that like we could all hear, but you don't think we can. But anyway, but yeah, it's funny because the deep web, dark web, whatever the fuck, the web has a lot of like it's been very trending lately on the internet, like on YouTube and everything like that. Have you not seen the?
It mostly got popular because of that one really toxic YouTuber.
Oh, we're not talking about J Station. No, J Station is bullshit. You don't know who J Station is? He's the one who faked the death of his girlfriend, and not only did he fake the death of his girlfriend, but he like before he even did that, he was toxic before that. He would always like write off of everyone's death. Like whenever he did these for people who weren't recently dead too, but whenever somebody famous would die, like Etika or like Etika's the one I remember, but he did it more than just Etika. He would be like, okay, midnight summoning Etika, guys. He'd do like a Ouija board Etika thing. And it was like, dude, that's so wrong.
Okay, I do think I saw that.
Yeah, and then he would start, and then the whole thing would be like, one like equals one good feeling. Or what the fuck, one thing for Etika, guys.
1 like equals 1 prayer.
Yeah, there you go. 1 like equals 1 prayer for Etika. And I'm like, dude, what the fuck? But yeah, the big thing that counseled him was that he killed his girlfriend, or his girlfriend died. And then the whole thing was, it's supposed to be this big YouTube stunt that backfired. He was going to bring her back to life. What is this? I don't know either. Oh! Megan joins in out of nowhere. What the hell? Oh, man. I don't know when that happened. I don't know what she said. She doesn't know about the deep web, or she doesn't know about J Station. But he was gonna bring her back, and it blew up, and he ended up getting like arrested for assault, and apparently he was abusive towards her, and he actually got demonetized. So good on YouTube. For once, YouTube did something good. But
good. Yeah, I know about like what's his name? Keemstar?
Oh god, what about Keemstar?
DJ whatever Keemstar or whatever his name.
Keemstar does all the drama alerts.
Yeah.
Keemstar, I hate Keemstar because nobody remembers Keemstar back in the day, but he used to be that edgy gamer guy. Yes.
Yeah,
but like,
I remember Keemstar when he was a gamer.
He was an edgy gamer. Like, he was that person. Like, no exaggeration. He had a group called fuck. I don't remember the name. It was like something. Okay, TLDR. It was something offensive, and it was FAG, and spell it out. And that was his gamer group. And like his whole idea, yes, he was that kind of gamer. Oh, it's funny because once again, that other stream I do, I mentioned this on that stream because it's been a thing that's been bothering me a lot lately. I don't know if everyone agrees with me on this or not, but like, well, you guys are girls, so it's a little different from a guy perspective. No offense, but like, whenever I watch a male streamer, especially a gaming streamer, and I watch either their Twitch archives or even their Let's Plays where it's edited, they'll always make the Hitler joke, the Holocaust joke, the edgy joke. And I'm like, never in my life have I ever, in my head, even as a joke to my friends, I'm like, oh, that reminds me of Auschwitz, or that's Hitler, you know. Never ever made these jokes, ever in my life. And it blows my mind that casually YouTubers will throw these out there, Twitch streamers. And it dawned on me, and I was only because one of my female friends who was on that stream with me was all like, you know what that really is? Actually, this wasn't a stream. This was actually a private viewing. Never mind, it doesn't matter. But I'm misconstruing the two things that happened. But it doesn't matter. One of my friends was all like, you know what that is? It's like it's the first person shooter gamer. And I'm like, yes. If you've ever played Call of Duty, Rainbow Siege, Rainbow Six Siege or whatever the fuck. If you've ever played maybe Fortnite and you're a male over 20, you've probably made these jokes before. And I can't stand that kind of gamer. I can't stand that kind of gamer. I just can't. I don't know if that's gonna offend anyone out there, but it's the truth. I just don't understand that mentality. And
I just don't understand being edgy.
That's the thing. That's the whole idea. Because this crosses all. It's not even an age thing. Because Keemstar is actually older than me, and I watch streamers that are way younger than me, like kids right now, basically doing the same things. And across all nationalities, it's just the edgy gamer, first-person shooter gamer. Honestly, let's just call it what it is. It's the edgy first-person shooter gamer. Like, you're not gonna hear these people like say these kind of things if they're fucking streaming Final Fantasy, speed runs or whatever. At least I don't know if I'm like calling it out there. Maybe there will be somebody can quote me on that. But anyway, Megan, what's up?
Hi,
she
Megan.
Just got off work. And I'm ranting about gamers. Ren's a gamer. I'm gonna cancel Ren for some of her tweets. She made a tweet about not liking about.
Stop bullying Ren.
Just bullying Ren. I'm so mean. No, Ren went too viral. She could like cancel me in a second.
It's funny because I actually my friends, one of my group chats that I'm in with some friends, we were joking earlier today about canceling me.
Oh, really?
Yeah, hang on. Cause I was like, I want to cosplay Dimitri from Fire Emblem in like a cheesy muscle suit. And one of them goes, cosplay Dedu, and he's like, a tan character, and I'm like, oh no, I'll get canceled. They said cancel Rin Bunny 2020, and I'm like, it's because I like to cosplay 11-year-olds, isn't it?
Oh shit.
So yes, that was, we joked about that earlier.
Oh my god.
It's come full circle.
Oh my gosh, it's funny because I'm gonna cancel Ren. I'm just kidding. Well, as soon as Ren posts those pictures she was talking about from Katsucon earlier in the podcast, I'm gonna cancel her. I'm gonna like screenshot a tweet and like call her out.
I'm gonna post them tomorrow.
No, just kidding. I'm not gonna do that. I will be waiting to see if someone else does though, because that's mildly amusing.
Honestly.
Fun fact, by the way, because I remember like you've been on several. I read my own comment as yo. I mean, it's myself commenting to Megan. I'm like, who said yo? I'm like, wait, that was me. But 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 speaking of Megan, I remember you got on my case. Funny enough, like way long time ago, like over a year ago, when Megan was on, and I kept calling her Megan.
Yeah, Megan.
And you kept getting on my case, and it was this hilarious thing that, by the way, I still talk about to this day, because I still bring that up whenever like a slightly mispronounced name comes up, or especially when I meet a Megan or whatever. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm like, are you? This is actually a legit like first meeting another Megan line. I'm like, are you offended if I say Megan as opposed to Megan? And I don't know if I'm just not saying it right, because I'm probably not, but half the time they don't even understand what I'm asking. And I'm like, Megan versus Megan. But fun fact, we've had Callie on a crap ton of time. Konaru knows Callie. Ren doesn't know Callie. But we've had Callie on a crap ton of times the past year. We've had her on like 7 times. And when I first met Callie, which is spelled C-A-L-L-I-E, like kind of like Cali, like California, C-A-L-I, I kept calling her Kelly, like as if like, you know, Kelly, like, you know, Kelleyy, whatever the fuck. And then I realized that in my own head, I was self-correcting Kelly to Callie, and that was literally, and mind you, I did it on my own. Like Callie was still replying to Kelly, because she knew I was fucking it up. But in my own head, I'm self-correcting myself for the exact thing you were correcting me with Megan, and I was getting mad about.
Oh, that's funny.
But yeah. Anyway, and it's funny because you're a Megan too, and so on. So I'm sure I was slightly offending you as well. I know I wasn't gonna say her name, but remember my Mike Bloomberg in elementary school. I won't say her last name, but her name was also Megan.
Ooh.
Yeah. So screw you, Megan. I'm joke. Don't quote me on that. I'm like 5 shots of rum in. Don't worry. Anyway, probably start wrapping this up soon. But any other topics? I feel like let me just see what I was gonna talk about. Real fast, r/entitled parents, the stuff we were gonna talk about. There was a story. You're close, everything is free, and it was a story about somebody working at a Aunt's Pretzels, who like the mom tried to get free pretzels from, because they're closed. And it's funny because I've had that exact thing happen to me at Subway when I worked at Subway. For those who don't know, I mentioned in the past podcast, I worked at Subway when I was right out of high school. I had people do that exact same bullshit to me. Like, I'm sure anyone fast food used to do this. And it's funny because in the story they mentioned it too. It's like, what are you going to do with the other pretzels? Like, I'm going to take them home and eat them. They're my dinner. It's like, fuck you. It's like, why don't you sell them to me? I'm like, I'll sell them to you at a normal price. But that's the thing. It's like, obviously one can argue the whole corporate thing, whether sell it cheaper or throw it away. But a corporate answer will always be throw it away. Fun fact. It's funny because I'm not really sure what Megan's reacting to, but she's having a field day in the chat because of the delay. I think she's reacting to the fact that I said screw all you Megans. Maybe I should take a shot for every time you say Megan. Yes, you should, because even though I've been trying to correct myself, I know I'm still saying Megan. Megan. Because, you know, Ren corrects me because all Megans are just meh, right? Right, Ren?
Megan. Not all of them, though. There are Megans in the world.
Yeah, but you're all just... No, I'm calling you guys meh, as in the word meh.
Oh, that's rude.
She didn't realize it at first. You're like, oh, that's just rude, man. But yeah, you should. A shot of wine. It's funny. Actually, I'm not telling the story. Never mind. That story actually ended badly. But I got mad drunk off a bottle of champagne once, and I didn't think that was possible. But that's a story for another day. A whole other day. Have you ever got drunk off champagne, Ren?
Champagne?
Yeah, champagne.
No. I don't like champagne.
Really? It's like fizzly wine.
I don't like wine.
Really?
I'm allergic to wine.
I actually don't like wine either. I think it's just me, though.
Rip.
I can stomach white wine and sangria, but I really shouldn't be drinking wine in the first place.
Oh, that's unfortunate. Well, you're not
Because it
really,
has.
I guess to be fair, you're not missing too much. It's just like drinking like spiked grape juice, but yeah. Beyond that, there was my mom. Wait, entitled mom stalks me through grocery store. TLDR, there was this chick who had a Phantom of the Opera bag who this entitled mom stalked her. Actually, like even followed her home to try to get it.
Mm-hmm.
And then she found out that the mom had got like not arrested, but she got like escorted out of the store again like another day because she did the same thing to somebody with a My Neighbor Totoro bag, and that blew my mind as well. There's some cool r/J-pop posts I'll just throw in the chat. There was a really funny one that I feel like we should have for a serious discussion one day about like what does a what is this? Oh, I found it. How old J-pop fandom used to look before 2010s, and it's some guy or it's some person. I don't know. Actually, I have no idea if guy or girl, but it doesn't matter. There's a person who just got into J-pop in 2018, and they were like, "What? Bless you." They were like, "What was the fandom like before the 2010s?" And I have quite a bit of story about that, but that's a topic for a more serious day. Yeah, and that was actually a very fun thread. Fun fact: when I was looking up r/J-pop, there's actually a really active thread about all the things that are closing down because of the CV. So,
oh really?
Yeah, and it's like super updated because obviously things are closing down by the hour. So yeah, I don't know. Anything else, Red?
I'm tired.
Same.
The alcohol made you tired.
No, I got like maybe 3 hours of sleep last night, and I had to get up for work this morning. So
shit. R.I.P. Fair enough. Let's start wrapping this up then. I think we have a good solid 2 hours in. Sorry for everyone watching. We didn't talk ours Reddit rabbit hole as much as I thought we would. I did try to include that at the end, obviously, just to try to pretend that we followed through. And
I can talk about my boyfriend Kageyama.
What about him?
I love him with all of my heart. He plays volleyball, and he's not the smartest, but he tries his best despite his problems and setbacks in life, and I love him.
Oh, the stream's lagging? The stream looks fine to me. I mean, it looks fine. I don't know if it just looks fine to me. And I can't hear it, but it's moving normally in what I'm watching. Right? I'm putting the volume.
Wow, on my screen, on my when I have the stream pulled up, I like just sneezed on the stream.
That was like 5 minutes ago. What the fuck?
Yeah,
I'm really bad then. I think it's Discord lagging.
No, for the record, I don't know.
Discord, Twitch.
No, I don't know if you can hear this.
now I'm talking about Kageyama.
Yeah, it's not lagging, but it's like it sounds okay. I mean, it looks okay to me. Maybe it's just your bad internet, Megan. But I did mention when we first started, we have a really long delay on. That's my fault. I put in like a minute buffer added to whatever the fuck Twitch does. So we're like 2 minutes after what we're actually saying. So oops. And that has nothing to do with you. That's literally me. I meant to lower it tonight, but I forgot. R.I.P. But Kageyama is Ren's boyfriend. Everyone go.
One of my boyfriends.
One of your boyfriends. You should come back.
Yeah.
You should come back when we do furries with Max, Ren.
Then I'm gonna talk about Shadow, and you don't want me to do that.
Yeah, you should. That's the whole point.
Kageyama, Yusuke from Persona, and Shadow the Hedgehog are my main boyfriends.
So talk about Shadow. He has a gun.
I don't like that game.
For the record, I love that you brought up Sonic, because Konaru remembers the whole reason we brought up the idea of ever talking about furries was because we got mad sidetracked on our Sonic talk, our Sonic podcast. Remember that, Konaru?
Oh yeah.
Well, we just connected it to the furry fandom, and it's true because like fucking Sally from Sonic Sat AM, like created a generation of furries.
Did y'all see Sylvia's Rouge art?
Yes, thank you for bringing that up. I meant to. I was watching anime with a friend of mine yesterday. Yesterday? It doesn't matter. I was watching anime with a friend. Yeah, it was yesterday because yesterday when it happened, and I was talking to her like afterwards. I'm like, hey, look, a friend of mine posted a thing about art, and she put like Dirty Pair, and I don't remember who else, but she put Dirty Pair and Rouge the Bat. I actually wanted Dirty Pair, but I'm like, oh, it should be Rouge the Bat, so you get like the furry boobs or whatever, and I don't know if that's what Rouge is actually known for. I said it as a joke to my friend, but even
it is.
Yes, even Sylvia's post about like when she was still drawing her, it was focused on the chest, and then when she posted it, she's like, "Here's boobs the bat. I mean Rouge the Bat." So I was like, "What the fuck?" I have a link to that tweet and that picture she drew, but yeah, Sylvia drew Rouge boobs the bat.
I only ever draw myself. I'm working on stickers right now and not happy with it, but oh well.
Just release them. I'm sure they're fine.
But I'm like,
look in your face.
I can't ever be satisfied.
Well, no one's ever satisfied. No one's ever satisfied with anything they create. You just stop at some point.
Yeah. And now my brain is singing Hamilton.
What part of Hamilton?
Be satisfied.
Oh God!
He'll never be satisfied.
No, bring that up. No. I'm gonna listen to that later on when I'm like drinking more. But
Me too.
But fuck, I forgot what I was saying here now.
It's Hamilton time now. How does it do it? Orphan son of a whore.
Oh my God. Everyone watching, I forget the exact date. April something was the time we did the drunk podcast. Like I mentioned earlier, I do have that already edited. It's a cool trimmed ass podcast. It'll be up on YouTube and you can watch. It's literally a year old. It's one of only 2 episodes that we've never released, and the other one will forever stay unreleased because it was that bad. Ren was never on it, but I'm just saying there was one other lost episode that will stay lost because it was bad quality. I still have it, but it's not worth releasing. It's too much work. But the Ren one will be released, the Ren drunk one. This was not a drunk one. This was just a buzzed one. Mainly it was Manuel being buzzed.
In the middle of a forgotten spot in the Caribbean impoverished squalor.
But if you watch...
To be a hero scholar, the $10 founding father without a father got a lot harder.
I was like, let's see where Ren goes with this. If you watch that drunk one, you get to hear Ren sing, what the fuck's that song from Wicked?
Defying Gravity.
Yes.
Honestly, it's probably for the best that I didn't know Hamilton back then, because I would have sung the entire thing.
There was a part, I actually didn't know you did it. I went to the bathroom and I'm like, entertain everyone. I just left. And you're like, okay, I'm gonna sing Defying Gravity. You just started like, and you just sang the whole thing a cappella. Like I think you could hear the track, but
yeah,
you couldn't.
I had the karaoke.
And so you just sang like a decent amount of the song, and then I came back like right when you were done, and I'm like, what I miss? You're like, nothing. And I never knew what you did until like way later on. Like more than a month later when I tried to do the first edit, I was like, oh, she sang while I was gone. But yeah. But that was you actually sang a couple times when I left. But that time you sang like a lot. Like you did pretty much. I kept that part in because you like, oh, look, you get to hear Ren sing like a huge part of that song out of nowhere. But I wish the chat was saved because the chat wasn't. But the chat was every so often I'd look at it and like people were really concerned for us.
Alexander Hamilton, troops are waiting in the field for.
Have you ever seen Hamilton? Have you ever seen Hamilton, Ren?
It's coming in April, but I can't currently afford tickets.
Yeah, I will say, like, I've never got a chance to even see Hamilton, so that actually wasn't what I meant to say. I was going to say, have you ever heard Hamilton? I was going to ask Konaru if she's ever heard it. But,
my sister religiously, like, listens to it. She's super into it.
No, I mean, like, I've been into it for a while, and I was playing it, like, at, like, Fanime last year, which is in June 2019, and I mentioned this specifically because I was playing it in the hotel room, and we're all singing along to it, and all my friends are like, people still listen to Hamilton? Who still listens to Hamilton? And I'm like, you can get the fuck out this room right now.
I had heard of Hamilton, and I knew of it, and I'd heard a few of the songs here and there, but I saw a piece of an animatic that someone had made to Satisfied, and it just... I'm like, maybe I should get into it. And I listened to the whole soundtrack, and then I watched every single animatic for every song that's available on YouTube.
You can, I don't think they're on YouTube, but, like, if you're into, like, if you go to Reddit, because that's actually where I went. If you go to Reddit, there's, like, a Reddit thread for, like, people who, I don't condone this, because it's, like, I think it's technically, I don't want to say illegal, but you're not supposed to do it. There are people who film, like, you know, musicals, like Broadway runs. And fun fact, it's actually a big deal. Like, theaters have figured out they're sitting in row B, seat 5, and they find out what night that show was, and they, like, ban that person. So it's a big thing, so don't do it. I'm being legit. This is a real thing.
Did you hear that 2022, October, it's coming to theaters. They're doing a recording of the original Broadway cast of Hamilton, and it will be aired in theaters.
See, I've heard that too, but why 2022?
Because they have to do it.
But it doesn't take that long.
But yeah, because they hate us.
And from what I understand, like, I don't know if you got the same vibe. I don't remember. I heard that news too. It's not a movie. It's a recording. So just get everyone together and record it. That's literally that's literally a weekend at most. Like, not, it's an afternoon.
Honestly,
that's a weekend.
Something I think that musicals and theaters are really missing out on is the fact that thousands of people would buy DVD recordings of the original Broadway.
The problem is,
I think they should sell them.
There's actually a really good YouTube video from a commentator called Sarah Z. I'll have that in the description below too. She talks about, it's funny enough because she's talking about, and it's actually her that I learned about the people who get the seat called out. The theaters find out who's the one who recorded the musical, and she's talking about people who record the musicals illegally. And there's actually a reason why they don't, because it's literally meant to be something that the poor can't afford, you know. It's literally meant to be that. It's literally meant to be that.
Make the DVDs like $40 or $50. I don't care.
Like, I don't know what, I want to say it was Puerto Rico. I don't know where it was. Hamilton went to another, like, Puerto Rico's the U.S., but it went somewhere else outside of continental U.S. It might not have been Puerto Rico. It went somewhere else. And TLDR, people flew there to go see it because they knew there was less competition. They could buy the tickets as opposed to the locals. And of course, Lin Michael Miranda is like, no, I want to keep X amount of tickets to the locals so the locals can see it. But maybe he cares about it. But TLDR, like, no, the whole idea is the rich people get to see it and the poor people get to hear the cast recordings.
That was, the Puerto Rico show that you're talking about was actually, as far as I know, more affordable because it was a charity show. All of the proceedings went to a charity.
But from what I gather, actually not from what I gathered, what I heard from, once again, I'm only quoting Sarah Z in this respect because I actually don't know much about that show. But a lot of the tickets were bought up by, you know, people who were able to hear and were able to afford to fly to Puerto Rico, which kind of eliminates, like, a lot of the purpose that show probably had to bring, you know, like, you don't have a show in Puerto Rico and expect mainlanders to all flock there to go see it, which is apparently what happened.
Yeah, but hey, I mean, at least it all went to charity.
No, that is. That is.
If everyone's gonna be a jerk and go fly the opportunity, at least the funds went to charity.
But yeah,
for Puerto Rico, actually, the charity was for.
I believe it was after I don't remember what hurricane.
The hurricane, yeah.
Something that happened there about 2 years ago. You know the story. Like, there was that thing when Trump was throwing paper towels and so on. And it was the very famous thing where Trump didn't know he was the president of Puerto Rico. He's all like, I need to talk to the president of Puerto Rico about this. I'm like, dude, you're the president. They have a governor. But anyway, that's a whole other story. Not to go political again, but that's another like funny thing. Then again, I don't know why it's not cool to go political about jokes like that. Because I remember when I worked at a bookstore when I was like out of high school after Subway, we used to carry these books called like Bushisms, and they were all lighthearted. There was nothing like mean spirited, but it was like a book about like funny things that George W. Bush had said. Mm-hmm. You know, he would always say the stupid ass shit, like, you know. In a better world, we'd be doing that with Trump, but then Trump also has like more darker bullshit behind him. But anyway,
are we done?
Why?
Yeah, are we done?
Why?
Because I need to pick my nose.
Is that what you've been doing? I noticed you were like playing with your nose earlier about 5 minutes ago. Is that what you were doing?
I want to pick it so bad.
No, a few minutes ago, like recently, you were like this, and I'm like, is she trying to pick her nose? I didn't want to say anything because I'm like, I don't know if she's gonna do it discreetly and just not say anything. But yeah, you've been like messing with your nose.
Yeah, because I'm trying to resist.
It's funny. Okay, well, I'll wrap it up after this, I promise. But a while ago, I'm calling you out, by the way. A while ago, I asked Ren for a picture to promote the podcast, and I guess it was during Halloween because that's the last time you were on. I'm like, hey, give me a picture to promote the podcast, so, you know, I can promote it. And she sent me a picture of her with her finger up the nose, and I was good. I legit was gonna just post that. I should have just posted it and just not said anything. I should have been just like, okay, Ren's on the podcast next week. Is like finger up the nose.
Speaking of, did you ever do anything with that picture I sent you that I took New Year?
I did. It's it was all over the panels. To be fair, everyone watching on Twitch who watches outside of Twitch, you might notice that there's a picture of the pointing thingy. I have not updated that only because I don't remember where to go to update that.
You buffoon.
Because even to find that the first time, I had to Google it. So I'm like, where is the option to change the offline, you know, background picture? But yeah, I did update it. If you went to the panels at ALA, you saw Ren pointing out all of our topics. But yes, I did. That so far that's the only use we've had of it. But yes, so Ren recreated the picture of pointing out things. So yeah. I'll wrap it up. Upcoming stuff. Aldia's interview is up. It's actually funny enough, I wrote that before it went like pseudo viral, but last night all the members of the band like retweeted it. So it's getting a lot of traction. Go check that out. There's new stuff on the Discord, like new emojis, and we're all more active on there. We're trying to revive it. Other stuff is going to happen in Discord soon. I keep saying this wrong. The Minecraft A to J server exists. I almost want to say it's in beta because it's just me and a couple friends of mine on it right now. It will be open to A to J Discord members soon. It's just that we're trying to become kings of certain castles before we open it to everyone. You know what I mean? So that
what are you doing?
The Minecraft server.
Oh, okay. So you're copying Peachy Period now, huh?
No, it's funny you mentioned that because we've been talking about ours for over a year now.
I know. I'm just kidding.
So we actually did it before you. Thank you very much. No, fun fact. Actually, funny you mentioned that because Sylvia's one who told me you guys had one. And I remember when I told Sylvia when I was obsessed with Minecraft for the past year, she's like, you should play Dragon Quest Builders 2 instead. Minecraft sucks. No one plays Minecraft. And then like
Sylvia's on Minecraft all the time.
Exactly. And then 6 months later, she's like, we have a server. You should join our server. And I look at a Discord and she's always on fucking Minecraft. She's playing on Minecraft right now. Always on Minecraft.
Yeah, let's
I know, I'm actually gonna look right now.
Sylvia.
We're all doing it. I can't look at it because I'll leave the call. But yeah, I'll leave the screen. But
no, she's like offline.
Oh, that's actually surprising. But yeah, she's fucking always on Minecraft. I find that funny. She's talking so much shit about like me playing Minecraft all the time. Like this time last year. But no, the only reason I'm building a lot of crazy shit and I want to have it all set up. Well, not just me, but other people are too. So that when we let everyone else in, when you go to kill our pets or whatever, we have a nice little setup. But
you know something we could have talked about?
Huh?
You know something we could have talked about? They announced the dates for the Made in Abyss movie.
When?
Like just the other day.
Really?
Yeah. It's going to be in Atlanta on April 13th and 15th.
I don't know where I missed that. 'Cause usually I get presses for all that. I don't know where I missed that. R.I.P.
I'm stoked.
And usually, I'm not gonna lie, usually doesn't even go to Atlanta, does it? Like all these like openings.
Yeah, we only got 3 theaters, and one of them is like restaurant movie theater, and I hate it.
Oh, I know which one you're talking about. I went to that one for my birthday, and it was.
And like, I don't mind when I'm like, I want to have dinner and just happen to watch a movie that I've probably already seen. Yeah, that's fun. But if I'm going to see a movie, get out of here.
Oh my god. But yeah, so the Discord, the Minecraft Discord server is coming. The A to J Minecraft server is coming. It's not just Discord, but obviously it'll be easier to join if you're on the Discord and talk about it. That's coming very soon. We just need to finalize what we're doing.
Okay. Thanks. Bye.
Oh my god, pick your notes. Just give it like 3 more minutes. If you join our Discord server, the link's all in the description. We have new emojis. One of them is Ren, funny enough. I know Ren's like, what?
Let me in.
I know, I should add you. It's funny because you're not in it.
I can show you the emoji like right now, Ren.
I mean, do both. Let me in and show.
Yeah, there's an
Okay,
emoji for Ren.
Oh my god, what? That's so cute.
Yeah, there's actually let me try. Oh shit! I don't know why I did that. It popped up like as part of the.
Do you want to see Sylvia's? I should have worked on one for Megan. This is Sylvia. It's so her.
Oh my god, that's so cute.
But Sylvia's just go to the Discord. I can't really share them properly here. But if you actually, I'll do this real fast for everyone watching. Just real fast. See, oh, I covered Ren. Sorry. That's the Sylvia one right there, and that's so. If anyone knows Sylvia, well, you saw the podcast. If anyone's just like casual viewer, that's so Sylvia with like the mask and everything. But scrolling up, that's Ren. Oh, why is that one little off center? But that's Ren right there. It's really cute. So everyone go. You can use those. I think Ren is Hello Ren, and Sylvia's like Gaming Sylvia. So everyone go.
It's neat. It's neat Sylvia.
Neat Sylvia. Sorry, by neat, of course, NEET. But everyone go join the Discord for that, and links to all that people. I'll add Ren later on. Sylvia's not in it either. Fun fact. But yeah, we have new emojis for them too, and Jasmine, and I forget who the 4th one is. Oops. Sorry, 4th person. I can't remember who
it was
you were.
Jasmine and Max.
Max. How did I forget Max? We were telling you
okay, because Max is super boyish, and she's always sick.
Yeah, and well, Max looks. I mean, Max has always been super boyish, but she looks like nicely boyish these days with the short hair. But yeah,
she looks so good.
I know, right? Like,
Max is amazing. She's we love Max. I've been trying to get her on again lately, but she has been like, I'll tell you this real fast. Sorry, Ren. I'll tell you this really, really fast. For those of you who remember the last time she was on the podcast, she said, it's 11:11, let's make a wish. And her and Konaru did. And I was like, I want to make a wish too. And she's like, you can't do it. It's not 11:11 in your time zone. So I felt bad.
Yeah,
and I couldn't.
it's not.
So no, it gets better.
It
It gets better. So for the past 6 months since that podcast, almost every day, and they went back and forth. It wasn't just me. We would send each other like, oh, it's 11:11. Oh, it's 12:22. Oh, it's 2:22. And it got to the point where we were just fucking with each other. Oh, it's 1:23. Oh, it's 12:23. Just missed it. And we would just send each other screenshots of the times over and over and over. And it got to the point where like 2 weeks ago, she sent me the 11th minute of every hour for one entire day. And then at the end of the day, at 11:11, she sent me all the screenshots. 12:11, 1:11, 2:11, 3:11, 4:11, all the way back, twice over, because it's like 24 hours, twice over back to 11:11, and sent them all to me in one night. And I was so upset. I'm like, you won. We've been doing this for 6 months, and there's no way I could top that. But TLDR, that's the last time we've talked, and I've been trying to get her back on the podcast. And she hasn't been replying, but she's busy too, so I don't know. I'll bother her again. Oh, someone.
How about you don't bother her?
But no, I'm going to. But anyways, she'll be on soon. I want to wait for her to be on the furry podcast because she did show interest in it before we were not talking, but before the last time we talked, she showed interest. So I want her on the furry one. Then I'll like we ran beyond, so we could all talk furries. Because I have a lot of things to say, like not so much as I'm a furry, but like, and nothing bad. We're not gonna do the crap on furries one. I know that's what some people are probably expecting, but we're not doing that one.
I'll bring pictures of my persona.
Exactly. We have a fun one. We're gonna crack jokes, of course, but we're not. Yeah, we're not doing the negative one. Just letting everyone know, because some people seem to mistook what I was saying about doing a furry one. Because I brought up rainforest, because I think it's funny. That's some good shit to talk about there. But we're not gonna crap on it. No pun intended, because rainforest. But oops. So anyways,
rainforest.
Yeah, oops, rainforest is a mistake. So we plan to finish. We have a lot of interviews that we did last year that never got published. We're in the works of putting them all up, so keep an eye out for that. Patreon, if you want to support us to Patreon, little as $1, you can get everything early. I think as little as $2. The first $1 is just a thank you, but as little as $2, you get everything early. Please support us on Patreon. If you want to get a higher tier, we have a lot of checkies now. I mentioned that last time. We got a checky printer. And I've been really good in like keeping like there's still original checkies, even though they're not taking one by one. People just like it's easier to send me a selfie people took, and I'll just print a checkie of that as opposed to like having to always see them. So keep an eye out for that if you want to join the checkie tier. Early access to everything. There's still an update coming for that. I got to talk to Konaru about some of the updates, but Konaru's been good. I will admit. Like I kind of badmouthed Konaru like 2 weeks ago when she was on last about not doing anything, like not doing anything, but not updating some of the things she was supposed to. But she's been doing good. Konaru's been doing the goods, and Konaru got the Ada J logo on the big screen during the Love Live.
Yes, I did.
So,
I did.
I will admit,
good.
Konaru's been doing good. So I'm not badmouthing Konaru like for
a
while.
Are.
So I'm just
here. You can have the OG. If I can find it. That's definitely not it. Hold on. I want to find the original that I worked on.
Okay, go ahead.
I think
so support us for that. If you can't support us on Patreon, just keep watching our shit. That's always the best way to support us. Like, comment, subscribe if you're on YouTube. I'm gonna show this. Oh man, I'm choking. This is the. I'm gonna show it right now. This is the thing that Konaru made. Oh, it covers Konaru. That's fine. And we're right there in the middle. We're in front of Anjoudamu, which is awesome because we are Anjoudamu as far as I'm concerned. But I'm glad there
was no good group picture I could have used.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I'm glad because our old group picture has people who are not involved in Ada J anymore, and I mean not involved in like dramatic ways. I don't like naming names, but so I'm glad you didn't because I'm like, oh, that would have been so awkward. But so yeah, Anjoudamu is a good choice. But on that note. Actually, not on that note. I had a couple more to say. Join us Patreon. Shout out to Ed and Ken, the current patrons. Next week, and I'll shout out to the people to talk about next week's stuff. I mean, about more update stuff. But next week we'll be on. Also on Tuesday on the 10th. I don't know exactly who will be on the topic, but I'm already in talks with Callie about being on the 17th to talk about Animal Crossing specifically. And I'm probably gonna pull up my old Animal Crossing towns. If I'm able to, on like GameCube and so on. What are you eating, Ren? Are you eating Pringles?
She can eat whatever she wants. That's what she's eating.
Yeah, I'm like it just looked like Pringles. That's what, like she had like that Pringle mouth thing going on for a minute there. Like you know what I'm talking about, like where they have the duck Pringle thing going on. But,
I love doing that.
Because she had it like in her mouth before she finished it. But oh my god, stop licking the chips! I thought you were gonna do the lip thing, so I was looking at your screen for a minute. She's just licking the chip. I don't know why that bothered me that much, but it did. So what's coming up with you guys? I know Ren just wants to pick your nose, but let's end properly real fast.
Pringles!
Ren's gonna eat her Pringles and keep working. And
Hi, I'm Ren. Thanks for having me.
Yeah.
We talked about bones, and I'm an idol. Judge.
We gotta have you on. We'll have you on again when we do the furry one, which will probably be like in a month. Maybe not in a month, but like after Animal Crossing, and if we have time. I don't know if you love Animal Crossing too.
Can we do an Animal Crossing special, like please.
I told you we're doing that before Animal Crossing. We're doing that 2
Okay,
weeks.
good.
I did Callie on, and maybe we'll ask Sylvia too. But like, what? I want Callie on because Callie actually. I'll plug this now, and I'll put a link below. But Callie made some stamps of like Animal Crossing characters, like that she made herself on her Etsy
Oh my
store.
god, yes.
And if you remember when she was on a couple weeks ago, she mentioned making stamps. She didn't say Animal Crossing; she's making stamps of like anime characters. But yes, she makes custom stamps, and she made some Animal Crossing stamps. So I'll have a link to her Etsy store below too. Ooh woo.
I want to play it in my old.
Yeah, you can play in your old 3DS town where Ruby probably moved out, and so did Kurlos, and they all hate you now.
Well, I'm talking like I want to go dig out my game.
Oh, that old? How old were you for that? You must have been like baby.
I played Wild World on the GameCube. I have City Folk for the Wii. I don't remember how old I was.
Even
but...
City Folk was like 2009 or something ish, maybe 11. But you must have
I was
been
like
12. But
12.
Yeah, that's about right. But yeah, you're baby. But then again, to be fair, I think when I was playing the GameCube one, I wasn't 12, but on GameCube I was like 16, 15. So yeah, similar. The very first time I ever played I was definitely in high school. That's I remember that. The very first time I played Animal Crossing. I don't have my original town. I mentioned the Sylvia. That was lost a few years back. Well, not a few years, but several years back. But I do have a newer town from also several years back. That's still old, but not as old. But it's older than my 3DS town. What's new with Konaru real fast? What are you doing between now and next week? I need a pee too.
Really nothing, honestly.
Well, that's good.
I'm not kidding. Just gonna be on the podcast, go to work, come back. That's it.
I'm really surprised I was able to not pee during this whole drink podcast. I don't think either of us got drunk for sure. See, this is the way that podcast last year should have went. With maybe ran with another little more drinks because your buzz wore off before mine did, but like without us getting like 4 hours into bullshit. Stop licking your chip. I'm gonna. Okay, keep licking. It's fine. I'm just messing with you. I'm really just messing with you. But I'm gonna have I'm gonna cut your camera out and just like put like cat sound effects over you licking your chips. Just I'm gonna do that. Oh, fun fact! I actually still have those burping I mentioned this past time. I have the Ren burping compilations that I just never uploaded because I felt weird, and even Ren said she'd be embarrassed. So maybe I'll put those up as a Patreon perk. You could just watch Ren burp for like 3 minutes, not that long, like
cool.
But yeah, I'll put that on as a Patreon perk because I do feel bad putting that publicly. I wouldn't want somebody putting a compilation of every time I burped on like public YouTube. But anyway. On that note, thank you, Ren, for being here. You'll be picking your nose in a minute. Ren. Don't worry. And don't leave, though. As soon as we did the thumbnail, I almost forgot. So keep an eye out for on Patreon. Keep an eye out on Twitter for updates on everything. We tend to update more on Twitter than Facebook or anywhere else about podcasts. And that's it. Like I said, especially next week, because I'm not sure what next week is. The week after, when we're going to be Animal Crossing, whoever comes on. And that's it. On that note, peace out. Thank you all for supporting us. Watch, like, comment, subscribe. Remember, if we made you laugh at all tonight, you owe us a like.
Legally required.
Legally required. Good night. Peace out.
Good night.